Yam watching more about the Badwam TV Badwam so. Jumadie do shase 5:30 dey do sorry Badwam kase nsam no ne obeti wo mu bi ni. Yam mpani John Dramani Mahama na akasa se wiase nkoso ejira bibiman so. Enti no se oman wiase nyina begina yi a bibiman mu nipa edumu akotene pa no ne nsem bi ene dey bro Adom TV Badwam kase wo ko Facebook /Adom TV extra Go TV 119 DSTV 280 Oko YouTube search Adom TV Tube ne kwa adomonline.com ensemi nsembebre ewo ho medidi afia amankwa tamaklo afia ni de mientie se de nsem ni chiremu etie enrada Ghana yema mpani kogina simpie so bia wiase aman nyina mpanifo wono mo agina ehia enu mu na wo kire sede bibiman ye so emfaso ya yewo ewo wiase ehwe bedu bre bi ewo wiase mu no na bibiman ye dwumu akotene pa ye eboa impuntuo mu emunsem eni.
It has famously been written that past is prologue. Well, in the past, the majority of the 54 nations that now comprise Africa were never offered a seat at the table where plans for a new world order were being drawn. But, Madam President, as fate would have it, the tables are turning, and Africa's role in the authorship of whatever is yet to come for this world is going to be huge, and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African.
Mampani ne gusu ya wakasa na ni nyina no ye UN General Assembly ya wono so ekokasa ye wase bie na wode eto amamman mpanifo no nyina ni mo se woni die mo de ekoso wo Gaza mpapra no eso no wo mo ensirimu no wo mo nka de etuamu mu no kre sesei netie na ye nhwema asomdwe ntime fa no ntuma pa infra.
The denial of visas to President Abbas and the Palestinian delegation sets a bad precedent and should be deeply worrying to all member nations of the United Nations. Ghana recognized the state of Palestine in 1988 and supported a two-state solution to the conflict since then. And I say, contrary to the claims of some, a two-state solution would not be a reward for Hamas. It would rather be a reprieve for the hundreds of thousands of innocent women and children and people who are facing collective punishment and forced starvation for no reason other than the fact that they are Palestinian. For nearly 2 years and for the fear of reprisals, we here in this General Assembly have been playing hide and seek with language to find the right words to help us avoid or excuse what we all know is taking place in Gaza. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you call it. If it looks like a duck, it swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, well, then it must be a duck. The crimes in Gaza must stop.
Yemfri yemampani sampa wode kotu dwai mu ne monwura yensam foforo mu na Ghana Law Society ne wa ba bontia ba be chechire mu no se woni Ghana Bar Association eni kuratwe bia na mom wono so abaya wo mo eba beboa ama tentene ne nwuma no etumi agira ne naso ye.
Oh, that cannot be the case. It just happened that over a long period of time in this country, we have had the Ghana Bar operate, alone. But you know that our constitution makes room for freedom of association. And so, every period, every year, as the country grows, institutions also grow. I mean, there used to be a time when we had only GPRTU. We had only GPRTU in this country, you all know. Over time, we also have concerned drivers, which is a registered body. And so Ghana Law Society is also another organization of lawyers that has come up as a country. We should accept it and support it to grow. Our objectives does not, spell out that we are challenging them. The objective that they have is the same objective that we also have. And the objective is to support the administration of justice in this country, support the judiciary, and support our democracy.
Otimuafo Penny Pobafo Boni ya ohwechire enso editu dwa se nani asopa se Ghana Law Society mu mpanimfo abane na so abechia no a wo mu enene ba bedi dwuma.
The judiciary, the bench needs the bar. And so we are excited that you have also pledged to support the judiciary and its intendments. And then at the end of the day, it is justice for the people that we all seek after.
Greater Accra Regional Police Commander no ache owura bia wanya mfie aduanan num a waye no ho se woye osrani ene wogege sikanom efiri adehye bi ho wo abuso kan e won kran ha.
The past 2 months and counting. No yani so na pa no hye Saturday na akwa kojina eye sabron ne so. Dwedifo na etwemu a no abon wontrene ni kura na ehia ono no na waje nipa bia okwakoye na dwuma ewo ye aboso kan ne importem ho no na wabon trene ni hia no na waje na enya asa ne ntie no ye toye bo ni beka say monitor no for a certain period na ehun se no kra na ye informants ene ye ebe share no na no kra ntinra ene etu anamo eko eye biaye na ye susu ana ejitu mu se ogina ho no no ene ensa eko kan no
Ehono sande kokoboy kwama nipa bomfo a wono ewo yempotema wodru nyina se wonhwa na posifo anso wono epachi ewo ne mabone a woye anyesa na semra no eso wono mu a wobefra kokko se alolo
esa wo hyene so se emra no eye edwuma ewo man mu eni nti se koba ne se wonante wonwumadie bibibia woye bia mo no ekokotia emra na Ghana ede edwuma na ade a police for ensa ebe kan na se ensa kan so a ye do be kwa kojina eye court na ne court enso wono ya kan ede achi.
Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics na wonde to aban animo some mandatory front of package ya ebo aduane ho de roche labeling nom ne ade no e wo se ye nyina ye hu ebi ohoro ma hye so de wo aduane na ye die ne nkrata no ho hunu kasa no kwa wonte ase wo mo se ebraso se wo se santroye na gugu nuane no ho nyina no emu da ho emma de wato ekwa akodi obetimi akan ate ase
kidney area esitre diabetes, hypertension, stroke. Sa yare se no enipa enya no ekọ enim bebre esoa so na eko na yenhwehwe mu kire se enuane wi a kire se esitre nchene ene srade a na anwa adons wo mu bebre no eno na amasa yare ye amanfo bebre ewo ye man mu enti eho abehia se nnuane a ya nkofoto ye package foods no ye pese abandi imre bi ba ebe hye companies a omo ye san nnuane se wo company kra wo ye aduane bi a esiche wo bebre no twofa bo o product no kakra se they are me to yi esiche wo na se nipa no pe na so pese otwa na wato
we ye osan edit to just say so wonum etu sa na mo no a kebeboa pa te sa nyarewa yi so ama omanfo ho ato
enti sa nyeme gidi ses ye ya ebeboa man kofo ehu nnuane omu di na ometu omo hofo se ye nkoso ni sa nnuane ya na se ma ye nkoso na ye ni nnuane ebeboa ya pomode
ma ya wo modomo wo achimodan kwanta wo brem central poyemantemu efa ho yehia mu wo mo se mu no wo madua te dodo no a so tofo no wo hen wo se panifo mu ekwan mu se be ya wo mo no so ade hye beba abeto
me pacho afi mi do one nekape me nya boto no 30 o me pacho emo ne de yayam dodo na yam de enso atofo ne ma esan satofo ne menti yehu se de esi hata emo no aka no nti yesre saman 40 enkan amomra odan kwanta ya wo mo emu hwam ede efenso sisi abo ni menti sa first na yaka se ebibi form de ebo mu no sisi anyame adom ni ndie nti afidie abaye di ya bo ni nyina frim enti uto ya no an say wodu nsu esi no ahoro ho de agum
eto ne de sese de enko ha enko kura yenya tofo nto enti ama sese ya ahokyere ewo yeso me pane chew do mahama me pane chew yebun kotodwe esre no ese omra medom yen
wonom so a odin video di dwuma rice mill ho no so de ato abanim so moden so on ba beto mo no dudu mu de akosuku ni dwuma hoduo mu se ne be ya omomfudie no emo won so fi ka obi obeto de a anka ho aye de ama won ye pa
ha won se sisie no se ne a emo ne nko no sisie na kuafo no nya de ba na onya aso ho wi a wo afidie wura no hwe wanim ye na ye ton ne de amsika ama onya de ba na oyam wi na okọ fie no oba na ka se ye nto ya na eno so no akoye bibia wo ho ana ade no so obi de ba na ye nton a wuni sika bia ye den wo de ma no nti ama ye nso no ye den ye kwa ho kirem disisi ya mo no bebre ho kwa mo de ba ye sa ma mo de ko visa wo de ba na ye jiguo na ye ama ona oba na ka se sika ni ho a eya na ama adwuma no aye nti sisi ade eye sa afie we de aho kire de enda fom
Menyina no so Adom TV Badwam kase na ha na be makwan ya no pay ye de asie ye da se emre ne adaje a wode ma yenti ye de agudie mu nsam ene de obon krata no eto so e de amon kwasinsia ye krado e wa ha se ye rekese de wadi nso ejina mu den ti be me na no pay menchia we
afia ma menyo so
e bia boko de
Yankopɔ ado na nso e
Adom na hu ye mobo
na efiada
fia ne kofi na yenda nti ya ne kwaku ne kwabena ne kwadwo ne kwasi ne kwame monkan ye ho me ma da no enye de enkran no ne kama bibia mu ati ase
yate ye be kama
tinyame ya Adom a
ye ochina na e D-Day no ti dame anopa 8 pepepe e wo Bukom Arena ochina anopa na kwasinsia me so mejire mu at 8:15 and then amamena the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of Gada Ase and ofre e kasa kwasi we wish you devote your time for the drought competition at Ghana Econo.
Okay.
Because your excellence in perfecting what you know how to do, no, is something that Ghana needs. Now, guys say, I also wish, but it's also good. If you
and we just say ya na diache. And we just say ya na diache. But said it here biano. Yammed the echna betche ya huodimu. Ni akwa kodi agro. Ya bro sokra we ya goodie. Ena ye kwa kodi. Ti ye shanonso. Na edu honoma. Obi amra free.
Yeah.
Obi amra free. Enyo hwe. De hiane se wa wako online na wa register. So ho no wa ba. But I would be brave or my Ghana moves. Ya center on just
as a football crowd blasters. I would be brave one more.
I don't know ya make our own intimacy. So then I your feedback. Ya wo ye dofu bia on fire ni agro.
Okay.
Utie ye hweye.
Okay.
Tidia ye enefe ni so. Nti ya no the suggestions kakra bia ba.
Okay.
Osi ya nke ye mamre ye college no.
Okay.
Because ya no muso so ideas no me ade.
Yeah.
Na nemo sa banta na ya ye no. Nso o mani je ho. Tie da mo ase. O kan say ya ya be kama. Je ne kwasi ne sa no. Ye sha me nkwa Adom online. Enti ye adomonline.com o sha se de agomu anyanya no. E na enu a ya kire wo bi a wo no se. Wo fake say robbery and kidnapping. Hey, I can stay by plan. Adwenkese nko a. Adwenkese nko a.
Ye nipa bedi o. Ye nipa da sani.
Obi anche wo, obi an kidnap wo, obi an wo.
O se kidnap me.
Bemba mu a.
Se rob me.
Is it olumom ne ya che ni?
Oh.
Ye nipa te no ase wo mpe.
Ye urade hu ye mobo.
No ye bo afo ma ye. Fa wo say adwuma kakra o. Na fu ani susu focus on it na be fa. Wo do why wo say wo fa wo say ye adwuma.
Fi so ma dwen so a, te so mo so nyansafo de bi ma wiase krada. Hey, you slow down. Why?
Nti ene ya kire say ni pa Adomonline.com a ensam no me ko bo akwa na cham so no. Obeyi de na free so. Nti ene ho asam. And no na won sam foforo mu no, I said there is no division in comedy industry. Comedian worries and I can say
okay
obi any problem
yeah
me ba ma be dwagum me ko ofoforo so bo be dwagum okọ saa no mo ye no be hu se kwesi se ya tutu futuro gugu nkofo ani na the confusion e ba se wo mo industry players na kasa anye steady wo mo na omo ho a obi ti akire no oto ne magum
se sa nom de ye om de gu kuma wood
ano ne asam na no waka no
eja ko ne le wenka
problem ni ho so no mo create
yes eja ko ne le wenka
ene ayi kwakuma anu
ne kwakuma anu nka anu na producers a mumunya aduane die ma amanfo so nya bedi no na mo keka actors ti bom because mo person nya full control of their talent so enye enena mo dia ye amogu ye movie industry wo kan ye say digitalization abesem digitalization ba ebeto ye ne Nigeria fo nyina Nigeria movie industry enne lady way Uche Montana ni Ruth Kadiri di ne ebai and ono timi graduate from being an actress to a movie producer.
Say kware me say Nigeria for ndo bebre no an produce wo mo ho.
It is sometimes
and ono ye say wo mo ya de.
Uche Ghana de no ho a.
19 twitwa.
Aye too much.
19 twitwa.
Just say your movie industry no. Look at the way na movie industry no e booming. At time okura asebio. Time na e tisika. Ekoto CD kwani ekoto na how much when me easy access you go movie industry no
kokore those days and na kwesi mi ntwo no a kuma se yonko ne asori ba no me say movie until now
so for my
tese
just say movie industry why
so say ye ho ye nua Ghana ni na
enyi wanka se ho nantini saa kekan ye ho nsem basa yes obi ehun so obi koso
na we ye kan ye movie no mu nko a wo ba bia adwumam asore abusuam baby ya say aye kwasi nko ade ye be ya atwena ba fom
why
say aye afia nko ade ye be ya atwena ba fom ei wa wonye obi ye nsoso a wo be ka no ho asem a kan
nya look at say hwe Nigeria a free Ramsey Noah ebesinne look at the number of actors and actresses
omaba
ask yourself say you free ejako ebesinne how many actors and actresses and yet me raise you betimi aka say en ejako ni le win kokuma ni mu ni one these are the face of our movie industry
ahoya ni na
nje beso bekoso
just yen so nhwe kura ni aka say oh eye na uye risi yanke be yi just the fact that eye Ghanaian no kwa
the number of times if you are Ghana for your spending on social media are you telling me say see the ho awuram ne ye movie no eyi a etika manfo hwe ene Dr. Like mo etc skit making I didn't know making it one na kenim checheku etina echese ke ka say ye proper movie pa e Kenya manfo mo ehwe
and twitwa no doso ahoya no doso too much even obi Ghana odi akura Apostle Safo and wonya no ba bi okure
yes
papa ye
no de ni nyina ko because e Ghana ni na ye
ene e ka wotina mo be kun na be yesi chese ye
na kwesi bro na ye remote ya oti akire na umia na o TV aso umia na TV adum na Ghana ni ka to se me de umia remote ubo nsem a e bedum asmenti ase
e ka so e be fo kura chese
what kind of you think any gra ye de
ya semo
bro ni ye plane ye fie na otamofo na atoko sora e be ba fom why plane ama ni padudu etimi fa nyina etimi sustain wo wiem no we ka to se me ka to se twon na me bada se ka na akasa ase me ti ase
ayo ye beifo
wo beifo
chese sa
because e Ghana ni na aye let me say so by you appreciate ya kasa that's why no manage en komodia na Africa Union pen for AD e wo UN General Assembly na asem ye suni e ban ye nya ho ya amfa free mu ni appreciate ya kasa e de
yanka ye humom
ye me ni kwa paso ko Joseph Kew na aban ba ya aban say contract am ni other foreign companies so makati maji be 50% from producer for ya boa man the car no price no etimi abafom o kasa ka en sha from so nkran e bo muso nye bi mu ana
se ye woni pa bebre wo mo ideas o wo mo so mo ye pe no mo de ko bi man so ne akotwe ehun ne asa de abre ne yato ebro no ni ade package no ni ade ye wa ha on to da me entu kwan ko obegu so
no demrika akoto
we hwan ye
ye mo se Yesu Kristo ka so di fo bi anu enu nya mo de ko
sa pepe
eni pasu
enti no enwo asam No, Yaman Penny John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
I want to akasa. There must be a mechanism for General Assembly to challenge Victor.
Yeah.
Emrena soon. And what can know? A bear kakra by 2050, no?
Yeah.
A bibi my yan
Sure.
Productivity, a bibi my.
Mary, say UN General Assembly 80th edition there. Or no, and a Kenyan president, Ruto.
Yeah, o makasa.
Or speech, and so far. A touching me. His Excellency John Dramani Mama.
Oh, and no bubu o musi form.
Ruto, the Kenyan president.
The kase
speech and then but I only wish that the African Union has been and Kabomu to face the Western world. If the Western world cannot exist without Africa. And they know it. Anytime you want to see a person, they find a way to divide us. And yes, we may have quite because a community affair. Yes. Community, maybe any agidiatum.
No UN Security Council.
Yes, no permanent. But Ucham Crow Asra for the do a call UN peacekeeping. I be mind this year does. Anything be mind any constant and a permanent membership. Oh, Security Council. But a brilliant a fan Crawford, a Sadia, near Befa Young Crawford Domoko.
Mampeni, Wakasado do.
To Mona Moji in the Maye.
Akasado do. A one paye.
Yan package of Africa.
Benyan Sunso, Obia Casabi or Kaye Bia on Bepeke. Netumi aboa amenyi na yakwaye ne mo na Gaza no so ho no moma yi unye yi munim de atuamu ina no mampani oboa no ho because I think say we the last
the last one the last one yeah
wa pour out
eniema
ehia abibiman ya da say ntia no badwam.online.com and so ha na Rocky Dawuni and what bay was Tunino some for challenging on diplomatic passport or see your man you know
almost challenging say some undeserving
some now can assassin
oh how
like obia or this year be
no because I think some crofo yeah more face diplomatic passport meaning challenger
and e be about
record at least you meet me
if you have issues with my diplomatic passport
oh how because to problem any place Rocky Dawuni enkoje Grammy
emre Mrs.
Jan Munyam e just say be adwuma wo yo ho betimi aye hare akona betimi abantamu a ene just say challenge ho
kwesi Mrs. Jan wo mo beka nti adomonline.com and sama no so ewo animo ha eno no nsam foforo bi ba nso aye de betu Jan na ye hwe
ye daily guide de bokata ento asofia illegal miners on rampage take over Gridco site. Eti Ora Frank asrifi ochirefo ni wa ese afi galamse from what say Greek for asase
aya semo kwesi galamse yi ase ora to aso na me de say de serious
woman 42 dies in Galamsey pit arrow Nadbo officer found dead in river daily guys on
the I know you're there because last week or 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, not more officer beer.
A similar one who says here.
No, I think say beer bear no.
Okay. My main say
be a bear no. Yeah, no, Adom news a week or 2 ago. Bema grandma bio.
Oh.
Najuma ye moi or so, let me say.
A 60-year-old officer of the National Disaster Management Organization stationed at Mamponting.
I don't know.
Onwa.
I don't know.
I'm going to to Ayenkatasu. Daily Guide, the Bokata, Enim. The Ghanaian Times. Reform Security Council President Mama demands at anger. A team of His Excellency John Dramani Mama and Alcasa. We are saying Mankuba Tensham, the Cassiasim. Ese ekuyi ehwe bambon sam so wiasa fa na nyina so no yenye zakra wom na yenya se da biada abiman sam ye de omu ane afa baako abeto so no yenso yenya permanent stay e wo mo security council no eso fighting Galamsey needs chiefs power not just laws say Sam Jonah enso edie eno no se pese okun editi afomagudie tu basa de a yenya hemfo yenya tumi enye mra keke
amesha say kasa we nyina nye ne o nti wo mo ntia na mpanifo was omo ejina mu no omo yiye ye ne ma no omo ntia na because say kwesi I am say kasa keke o enti no de o ye no onim say ade chi bia galamsey ana e koso na e koso
ya mpanifo ni mreye ya mpanifo mo ni mreye so metu galamsey ase
edin
afi mo ni mreye
edin pa
eda omo ni bebre ye nyina ebe hu omo ni mre omo nya ahoboa they are not ready to fight galamsey.
Yes, but
they are only benefiting from the proceeds now. If free galamsey.
That's all. Emphasis on what you know. Yeah.
Obia no any abre. I say LGBT.
Last week gospel pa yeah. I'm talk 37 station home.
Yeah.
Akwa bi also ono onya who ways and means o mo dey galamsey kwa kwa duru.
Oh yeah. Because penfone dey assure mo nsa no. The omun the bibia dey say they are willing.
Yes, sir.
Shakara ne man ye. Because the enemy nkrofo a take charge. Any enim say na betimi a withdraw your nkrofo. But because of maybe the benefit na nkrofo nya free mu a e bi beso ye so ntino. Ya kan ya no ato.
Eh serious. And yemi phone lines no na.
Yemi we say wo mra akra na.
0302211701 702703704. Also found the bra. Na yegusu de bon krata no ba gudie mu nsam no so ye de beto so the amount so betimi aba na the headline no abre.
Government injects 2 billion Ghana cedis into District Assembly's Common Fund. Vice President Mapania be the Chineke District Assembly Common Fund no abani sika 2 billion Ghana cedis na akwa shibo. The Ghanaian publisher the Wakata ensu eniem Professor Kwesi Yanka writes farewell River Ayensu.
Oh.
Ti the River Ayensu yeni aba asepoto.
Oh, I am.
Osi Oma River Ayensu Ayensu dem refugee.
Oh.
Oma na dikan. Se we do akontem. So e die. Wan chekra enojemu e di ekwi. 15 Eastern MPs endorsed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Eti MPP Mrashe for your Eastern Regional. Omia 23. Emu 15. E declare mo support. Dia ma Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia. Samuel Oku rejects NLM misuse allegations. Eti in someone draw here Fort Estate for Edibaye SS Samuel Oku sika omo cheche ye e wo NLM aten no entwe ye no osinya no kre. Sasem no kre bia enim. The Ghanaian publisher so enonom. The overseer. Slave trade must be recognized as the worst crime against humanity. President Mahama at Onga. So se be fa na nam ko enko asum no wiase ama nyina nyintum sem eni patete ye katie pa mo wudi sem no ebi ma wiase da edi we be kwa na ke yemi empatesika pa katie se bam kutu ni bi ye fa pata ye fa dodu yakuma na still na amafo yaw ye sa bam krom am so e pampam ye no so e fa na nam ko chechire mu man yasa make o monti ase. My presidency will pay you back. Brian Champon to NPP grassroots. To a sit by obey. Oh, NPP grassroots now. And the jabba your money be no. Aish. Also be fun straight away. The MBD be any some top mana. O pia be so then the kama. Peche.
0302211701 702703703 also bra Chief Abba. Chief Dromo. Chief.
Pensiamo.
Yeah, giusto Chief.
Ani ana konicina.
Me ani ditiku. What John Dramani Mahama at the UN Assembly. They can send their switch concern about security issues near the Majin and in court Ghana name was security issues say minute no na gba ni yo. When that was following na gba was security issues. The battle the banana agbe me afi mani seni ani wo ye mani me echi mani me ami afi refugees yam kumano did you mani nyoli for only bi ni ya no concern about our security agencies is very bad no mini dinu wo mani ni no feel yes ona security system Ghana ne nko nyi o ka segbe yi o te janu o ka segbe yi mukoni fi mu ba vendor e ka segbe yi wo nyi ye $2 when it comes to security issues in my name. No go money la ye ma say wo hale mu chiboke badana e pa to gbejanu to no security system ba ya ndu ba ya tanu manya bra ofin
Oyiwadon chief
chief ase papa panti chief nso obama mpani abaso waya de na watch SS oba security ho nsam no so enyina ye ye da chief ase SK Bolas ya mo ache mo akwa ba papa
Mame afiama ko batamba bibia boko de
ya me adom ye nenso ya da se
ba de na se we wa oni abema SK Bolas na menene e wade nyina do opoase coffee room amchia incoming MP opoase is ifuchimat okumu komono aneko kakame kanza sama mo kan ye nya ho yi an na titwa no wo magana ma yankoso isanse ya papa kantankai akamna watial no ye na juma na ka ba bia ba akoso na sona nke jinsan ke papa ko ankonya wi aweho na papa ndiko ito o magana mu ansana gana be koso no ye nya ho yi ano ne titwa no pasami kunya no kunsu no ya nya we nyina dia ahwe benya talent power kana hanse kusiaga akusiaga chira abofo ye da blogu komu ayefe nya enkabo mu tie o ye nya hoya ne nya nkabo mu ye nya nkabo ma abofu be fi o mu
ya say SK Bolas
saka wan so aba be me na ye mu akwa be
ya na
da say
sita afia mankwata makru nyamnya be ma se St. John's. Ya boko die.
Saka boko na so.
Midiane saka wana midin hu hia me kasa free Amanfi West. Nya be ma ni nya ba. Ye da His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ase. Nya na me damin pam say, "Hey, papa as West." Na di manije. Ye bok na baso pa. Na otina so yankofo boa in fact I think we are going to ma na ye de tumi nya ya sha ye nya be man nsa
okay
obe deliver no
medase saka ya me sha
medase edu ha wo behu wa nya me ya doma enti afoko 1 medofo ya bo akaba
yeah me aba
ya da se be me na ohwe free hia no pay
de shemu free ya kontomra
sehwia kontomra sehwifo okrom ma ya de pa yentie we papa
yo ndemo de bechie mo mbi se ma pa ma yinti e mo duma so ani sehwifo ye ne mo pa na bo mi kam tire Ghana fun ko ti leche ye mba ni mo be ko man so aya be da suban pa di be ti wi asin kwet so ti ban bo be da ye di be ka be pra ye man nin na be fa be ye djuma be ma Ghana fo ma ye nto na Ghana for ye se pa figalam se no ramba ni mo be ma ye chi politics na ye hana ko ni kire ye na chiri ma be fe be ko personally mo ni na ye djuma
ya da se pa nje no de ko he sehwi
sehwi o de ko sehwi yeah o de ko sehwi
ya da na se nzo aka galam se na waka entiti munum ni ade ne Raf Swaba Rafa no pay ye mwakwaba
e jo so anyado mo ti sen
nyado
e de ma stari juma pam go di bua Ghana mai onabu SS run vai o champion juma pam go SS we chan pa ano pe ade ba pe ene ha mo Ghana sa so
okay
sia hodua among futugu rough it's good soon bata e ma Ghana be tan ne di ko show bi oka o si zoom live for ti won ti no mo ma Ghana enye yi ti so just too mind be for to and as the blue square ka so radio so ti so ka sa different for them enye o enye we dey no na utwa dey we dey be kasabo ko so kasa kama radio so any TV so le boom pen for no na ma fin so na Ghana so kama mai that's why you papa mo
yes da say na Benjamin Pepranso so medofo yamo akwa bai
me Joseph if ya nya kwesi mo ye de
ya me ya pa ben
akwesi se ne mi si kondam na o shen one time na so we still ya me at much and ye hwe mu
mate
ye hwe papa so ne come your body goes na bi kama na ende ya na pe sanim si konya pantin pon a ewo eye agnasri rufi eye dua kwakwa agnasri dua ho nye kwakwa nso to mana sei ni be cha finding people eso mo hwe no mo boy so say ya dia ehu yan yi papa ma me chi on rules in Morris MP wa kuna wes ni jama tinya mo ni juma
da say 2 pm so aba be me na yemo akwa be
Mayor so came in Mayor about 2 p.m. Masom I was Santa Mampong. Na mpasho mo hoye.
Yeah, we are 2 p.m.
Nyame o intramo. On se maba ide Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra, on Dr. Mike Amufadankwa. Make sure man pay. Na akwasi 2 p.m. na mani age. Say amanyina who say His Excellency Entina President Mahama manifest. Akwasi President Mahama o me fans no.
Otepa.
And then the man fans na president won't hear me. His Excellency Goodluck Obama, John Dramani, Trump, Kwame, Abebio, Mahama. Papa. The warrior presidency no. Say president bi obebia wa anya hambo. Te Ghana nka bibi say no, na ke abo papa na ba so ne hu say o ya de by the Sabio. Akwasi the water oni promo obeso soja on mo ni ngo ase. Na no weapon fashions against His Excellency Goodluck Obama, John Dramani Mahama ta prosper. But nyame won shamo na mi tatu mo ntuma katu ma wo Yesu di mo.
Amen. Amen.
Ofo Franso aba ye Joana. Joana pe ye mo ache mo akwa be. Jo yankasa phone so adaroma.
Ayi omuka na mi pese mi kabi.
Okay.
Sisi no. Yeah no say niema kana for wo muka no. Nyam sem no mumu. Vise obi ayi MPP na dikan. O mu kan papa. Ma ayi Mahama sama oka ye dia na kire say. O say Ghana ana Africa ye ho kire. So
Joe Fache, it's no fragment you mo TV so why?
Enkasa o phone so.
Yes I be distract. Yes stop.
ABK so. Me do for yamo akwaba.
Me so.
Na hwe free here no pay papa.
Yes me ADK Ankara. Okay, that is dia so.
Dia so. Yo, ya da se papa.
Na me de me kan se ise galam se ya suhu ya kun ye suhu nyina se community nu ankasa se ya anya mo a ati tu be den so o mo tu galai nyina ko yi mu ne tie ne when am think kan amra me pamu sana mo je pade na mo se ti o man mo ye tia se ade ye enye ya o si e fa kwam papa bi so ye sika na nyame de akyɛ se yintuni o aban prem nka se ma ye ni memu ye fa kwam papa so ni eni ye tu amam bia ye nkata so na that bia no ye try to me kwa ye tu bi ye ye se na ye papa o ma ye na ye se no amangwa se magu mpa ucho me fa so na me dia se me atu anim adomfo mu ye program bi ya emrante ye beto nyum se lemon factor at DBS.
Darling factor, yeah.
Miss Romo. It's a muna mo cheche ya me Ghana ya mamre no. Ayeduma. Emema bi sisa suma ade. Ghana ya mamre mu emema ya sisa suma ade. Yes, Romo mu na mu sisa de mama. Obi ba no sisa suma ade. Kama nko anka
ya binchira.
Daga ejina so ache papa fasha ye ya mo akwaba.
Hello.
Papa ya mo akwaba.
Yeah, hello.
That's it.
Mama Yiko.
That's it, Papa. Now show you free here. What are you?
Ghana be if you communication, if you media houses. In fact, near me training standard and food and drug authority. Standard board. You see, near my baby, how are you from money and running at the end? And I'm kind of labeling expiry date. Name my crab over kind of yeah, that's threat. Me ya nema e be boy e na Ghana sanitation ni de AISM che president isuru ho ne o yo abuke e kama ya se nyina hu se ye nsisa ya hihye na ya ye ki Ghana so de ne ye ti be tre emra enya tuma nkanka ye bia ni sem enu sem ni nema pipri e na sanitation ye nyina sanitation ye correct ye na zero
e kwa sa
ye be da mase na nyame nguso embom ho ban.
Yes.
Na India emra da but if you pour my head be kasa say open more than this and you be period to educate ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. Pa ya last caller. Be me na ya mo akwa be.
Me jo so mi ni ma
ya
Yeah, like teacher, because if you're a officer town, I'm in chair with you for me chair. We for our country, John Board, you need. Well, me and before now, we declare a yima. Mabaso. Na nyama mi na mekanedi kan ye say galamse ye fe ni twase na mi nua ba mi hu ya di bu TV show no pe me were ko kakra say Ghana ha e mo pa Ghana fo yidi na intimi ye di ni ye ntoni na hwe akuafo ye se ye no no bi tin sika na ho de na do na ya pake ku ba bi a ni pa kotom be di aya we ho na se de bia me ka se ayufu no galamse ye yi hu film na mpanfo ye nye ye market me gidi se mpanfo akotwe sa mu we nyina ba nkai na ye betua advert ama Adom TV se ye nye ho advert the fact ni se Adom TV akwa chiri ba bia ko bi do mai gura bi hu chesi a ye fe chensa na ye ka se Ghana mo eda ye beto ye be se ye kutoju gufom ye ma skufo ni na emwa makuafo nyesa omoba mu bu. Okay. Me share mo sana topic we mo dia ba mo le kwadi the same point for say ye krama Ghana ko yi. Ye me share papa.
That's say ye fa course ni si. Yeah. Ai na kwasi wo interview ba ku bia na.
Wo interview ba be ye se dame fo no. O se ni bi e ko so ochina na e DD na kasa.
Yes. Tena ye ese gada momentum no.
O se e bo mo
e hu. Wo ma ho keka.
Yeah. Se an keka ni ahwefo an kasa o se akwasi an boaboa awie payo akwasi an boaboa
yes ye ka ades no so
ades no ma be ka me ho
omo mba be hwe abramo no aha e utu no na wanya ayi ofiam pedo asere ayi a wo de si aso o mai mu no na me ya dom a ochina awade beti wiem ni ahia na ya hwe eye incoming Bismarck akwasi boatin
ye ka do for se ya no ochina kro ya so na ye nua DJ Awana ye pene krabia eti ochina na iyo bekoso e wotema community 2 Agri Park tie nyina ye nhia e ho so be ka be bia first na Adom FM e wona
the opposite
one mo the opposite one mo na ye wo eti yesre wada mo nyina be ka ye ho na etimi e me ye fia so be fa atawoko ana
atawoko so atawoko yamu achemu akwa be hello atawoko.
Yes.
Now why you ready? The answer of him no for more.
Me patrol my ready. Pana me too can ye.
Okay.
Now into can. Enti ahoboane to say ene ye efiado wotuna. Nyame yadoma ye hia mu wo
Bukum
Arena. Ahoboane to say
ahoboane de ekoye pa ekoye pa ye gusu hihye games hihye ye opponents on tactics na ye share loopholes ewo on games ni mo no ochina ya capitalizing on those loopholes no na ye hia for mo so nti ahoboane de ekoye pa
okay dia na wo ka kire wo supporters so omo mra na free no omo emechia wo app wo club be na wo
me wo happy corner draft club wo su
okay
aha tiani efra wo mo e kankran no no mra wo chena nyame yadoma
inti me opponents ya me catch them say they should come in their numbers mumbra like just come in your numbers mumbra like with all expectation of the best expecting the best from Atoko and the Happy Corner Draft Club a bear crab inti Mumbra in your numbers, come in your numbers, and you'll never be disappointed.
Sir.
Now, Atamami say, for how long? And what to dame?
Oh, my to dame be at least be 20 years.
20 years. Wow.
Yes, at least.
Wow. So, what has been your biggest achievement? What's that? What to dame?
Okay, school. Inti me nyata me two dame no be
okay
but be last year say last 2 years be two competition be wo nyaniba usu nyaniba minya invite echo 2 bi that was the first major competition me got 2 year but me 2 year I think say one of the executives from the national governing body for draft.
Okay.
I was so impressed. So I invited me say member to justify for national big competition. Then also many time. but china de me wadaje pa me gina mu din ewo bukum boxing
ai nyambo na wie wo de na mehwe na ma organize wo ne kwasinsi ama me wadaroma na de wo dwa mu pa wo dwa masumu no de ata ko wadaroma etina wo ne nkoro boko de emfa skills ni nyina agu so ade ko no ma me won side oi
me pa
ai edase pa obetie tinyame boa wo china ye twen ai akwasi bodi so aye krado wo ha oba beto so abagumu a boaboa no se nyankopon ya adom a akra be de bukom arena ebe ye de kwasi ye mu akwa be
wa be just yeah na eta me nko nima na ye ne nima fo nkasa sanse nima fo so ye wide pass so de be hwe eche ade na nkasa no yo be no enze bia we yo bene dia wo mo dim to di ya ka on to see let's say ye na nyankopon adom ye sa adom ache yeah akwasi come on see extra mashisha wo ni atoko to di ka se bia atoko asem nya fa ye ko ni bra ni mabo upe drapa asha no wa shobu na se omu timidia je wayo omu ana je wayo ansa je wayo je wayo me wayo if ansa man say me wayo agripa ansa aka ce maka wayo kan su hankali ka sosai so yanima mamobi zango duwa ce wayo suka ji suna nan na zauna kowa da su that is the feeling from Nima. But then some force person will take it to a different level. Then some force why wide papa so then some crowd the boy could do an jo. I didn't know here where no bukom iron no. But when I rehearse some rehearse no one can tournament no bomb some friend clash of the Titans. To mo de no dwemu kura sana o mayi tele bi dia ai na o chena de na pa na o twena o dwemu enyeja free. Free. Ntinye se obi abaje okube ko okodu wa nwrem na akọ binam so bi kasa chale ticket wa ha da bi waje osikadi na me complaining nkyerɛ ko yaka free wo TV so ne radio so sa free o e den aba benyankopɔ bɔ na pesi no ma se ne bon sama di ko bi no o di twefam ha ko e den obi be twu obi adi but e be ntwu ni bra straight wram wow so ba the free obi abi sa da bi Adom TV say free yen ko hedan so man formra
Adom Saturday Adom TV dami competition
a draft a game bia for adwene it me ma odwene ye enye dama enye drafter chebe lazy people neto
ebe interesting pa into moment ne fie bomodia na brabuko boxing na
ni so esanso ye nika
dani dua munia mumbra na mumbehwe agro no fact ebe interesting pa into moment ne fie bomodia na brabuko boxing na reader
wow na so man for asemo ya gentle bi amami na so man for mo ya gentle sana mo dino say exhibition on last stop o mo di gentle we dey man hwe ya na betwa mu na so man for mo ya gentle ana no emfa ho well ebe hwe how ebe si akọ ne ade input step up mixture okay one up any day eba and ya catch you say we ya fade na ke say warm up to dame eti na kwan bia so no bibia ya twa butu no tisha sa efame but eden ya call dan so man no na call dan so man say ya call buku box na arena no na say kwan bia so no ya be her matches na ya hwesi be twa dia there's EPL, there's La Liga, there is Italian Serie A, German Bundesliga and the likes. And now Barcelona Bogumu. That's a Bogumu Oviedo mo di kan ko to twere kan. Boy. Kin na Barca ni mo wi kra na there. Now interest in EPL no the City and Sana ya call the other fixtures no and Sana ya call na ya jamu to Waso and there's Chelsea Brighton over by 3 p.m. Now China early kick off. Man you ni hey early kick off. And Man U fans in there hope the momentum will continue. Now Crystal Palace in Liverpool, Leeds in Bournemouth, Manchester City in Burnley, Nottingham Forest in Sunderland about Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolves. We and the fixtures of the EPL. And of course, Yenko La Liga on Saturday will be Girona versus Espanyol. And Espanyol Girona now. Ochina Hetafe Levante. Yes, Atletico. The Madrid derby is on tomorrow at 3:15. The Madrid derby is on. Madrid are unbeaten so far in the league. Atletico so Trifane Bosa, Nano Crablo, Brands, and Osher Rayono, Nano Day. So Wanda Metropolitano will be the venue of attraction. Mallorca versus Alaves, Villarreal versus Athletic Club Bilbao. And this is it. No matter how Real Madrid, Atletico, Ebreno, I know where derby. And to be able to me, Rayo and Sevilla. Elche ni Celta de Vigo, Barcelona, Real Sociedad, Real Betis, Osasuna. Then on Monday, Valencia and Real of Oviedo. I don't need the Ebekoso. Now let's go to Germany. You call Germany. I see that one some Swiss here. There's Heidenheim and Augsburg, Mainz, Borussia Dortmund, St. Pauli, Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, Leipzig, Mönchengladbach, and Eintracht Frankfurt. One at the airport. Then Okopimo or the other slide. It is Freiburg versus Hoffenheim. Then Cologne, Stuttgart, Union Berlin, Hamburger. Miss Smelly over 1.5. 1.5. Well, now Saturday. Italian Serie A, no Italy, Como, na no mu wini ni tipa in a cup match, no more Cremonese, and they signed their boy Juventus near Atalanta, then there will be Cagliari and Inter Milan. Well, there is Sassuolo, Udine, Pisa and Fiorentina, Roma and Hellas Verona, Lecce and Bologna, AC Milan and Napoli. Hi, we can use appeal. AC Milan and Napoli nebo are not bad thing. Papa. Strasbourg, Marseille in the Ligue 1, and then you Marseille. Now no send your share PSG, you know. Yes, over trauma Strasbourg welcome you. Lorraine in Monaco, Toulouse and in Nantes, Paris Saint-Germain, Auxerre in the French Ligue 1. On Sunday, it is Nice at home against Paris, then Angers and then Brest. Lille and Olympique Lyonnais, Metz in Le Havre, Rennes and Lyon. And a day airborne into Channel FMMA. Yes, we're on. And of course, in booster bar mixture, okay, only then someone about Franco Trading Enterprise phone Papa Fini. That kind of son Ghana under 17 for no. First match draw, second match Ivory Coast 4 year boy 3. I am here be fair bag about fee. They said them me fan bag the come. Serious. Well, and in the journey, and then I have to me drew the semi-final. It's me we need ya. Ebe boy am ya 4 points today. Ako ye nimo and one summer now. Yeah, Kobe Biani goes as for catch the second leg of the Champions League game against GS Kabylie no Basso then on Sunday. Algeria and Tikwambia. So Enra the first team made to coin fee on my imo. Yes, so much to copy Algeria. So meet me over tiny results no. American Caribbean and Betray. It is on Sunday now. Koroko, SO bought in the Confederation Cup, and Matemania Brepa, Communications Director at the Makoroko, Safu Duku or Buemu, what is happening in camp?
Win. At least they are going to the second game with that win, no? Even though they're convincing. It should be possible in Nigeria because we have two teams, you know, form on the day. Clearly, Nakotoko were ahead. Fortunately for us, they are called Nigeria on a neutral ground. In the advantage here, but any so significant say and no. Entima Kotoko and so on. The Kotoko team no ending the expectations and they said they're gonna for ABC feeling fair progress. Yeah. I believe it's fair. We share the two teams now. We say Kotoko or a lot of positives as against the other team. So we only have to strengthen our strong points and then capitalize on the weak points of the opponents. Now the team did the right approach strategy. Second leg in qualify. Kotoko will have to qualify. They need excuse to be here.
Right, and so I don't need someone Safudu Kuditu Jana. And what are class sports to the House of Folk versus 11 Wonders. Match no bad day, Papa, match no bad day, Pa, and Yasam get to Accra. House of Folk, after a draw, after a win, they will be hoping to get a win. They'll be hoping to get a win. Masu Didi Dramani and our head coach of the House of Folk, need 7 years ahead of the game.
I think that they are a very strong side. They are a very disciplined side. They are a very organized side, and so we respect what they bring, but we try to impose our authority in terms of our style of play and in terms of our game model. And so we are very positive in terms of how we have to approach. We just have to be able to take the necessary spaces that are needed and then try as much as possible to control the game when we don't have the ball. It's a lot because we need to intensify our setting of the mental approach where we can stay very consistent, where we can stay very relevant, and where we can continue to express our direction and also keep our identity prevailing. But we need that confidence of creating 3 chances and making all, creating 4 and making 3, creating 5 and making 4, and you need games, you need wins to be able to intensify these aspects. And I believe that with consistency and sustainable approaches, we'll get there gradually once the league is on. The biggest assets of the club is the support base, and so we respect and we appreciate and cherish them greatly. Wherever the club is, you find them there, and I believe that we're trying to make them more happy, we're trying to make them more relevant, we're trying to make them more understanding of the entire culture, the entire philosophy, and the entire style of play that we are building.
Well, ni Odate Lampton so na oya head coach the man wonders okay ni yes ni Odate Lampton on a wonders or the more barber so which maybe be what a crash posture man ni some ni.
The tips we came and we corrected them. We can play against a crash of you know, it's a big task. Yeah. But then we motivate the boys enough for them to give out their best against a crash of. I think they had a good technical team. You can't take anything away from Didi. And then I watched their 2 games, which they did very well. You know, but also there's some, you know, loopholes that maybe as a technical man I've seen it, so I'm going to work on that. So they should come to the stadium and watch a good game. I think we are going to give the fans a football to do.
Well, and look at the statistics between the 2 sides ahead of tonight at 5 p.m. Friday night football has come to stay. The other vocal share CNN at 5 p.m. Between them on our screens, you see House of Folk wonders. Yes, interesting. You see it here. 2020, 2021 as a vocal share more. As a vocal, I had the better side of them until the 2021, 2022. 11 wonders. Share House of Folk by 2 goals. 2-1 and we in Senate here and it mean 4 games from our House of Folk na winning me and I wonders I winning move back until we in Senate starts now is yet ahead of a game. But ahead of this weekend's fixtures, Yenche Senate League table news here. This is the fixtures rather and at 5 p.m. now. Adriana and it's Red Raw Bracks and Bob Bracks on Saturday 3 p.m. now. Nations next summer text Bebona Heart of Lions and Bichimabo at 3 p.m. Vision and Hohoy Ebebo na Young Apostles need Dreams and the Apium so Carella and Medima and Ebebo need to win this year now. These 2 sides still gets other standing. Asante Kotokobenya standing. Na Go Stars and standing. Go Stars in Africa no Koni Brikum Chelsea and Bebo na Kotoka Koba Seke into winning match day 3 of the Ghanaian Premier League so one somewhere yet bro and anopai. Yes. Imbusteba Center, the Imbusteba mixture ba be boost to immune system. The immune system has to be boosted. The immune system is going to be boosted. They can boost, a bit boost, among say yes, something they did right. So when the immune system they are boosting my infections away, germs, bacteria, virus or something, I don't know, be bien to me body no. And I guess I could feel cool. Tanzania no. Now lacks of diabetes, ulcer, cancer, hypertension, candidiasis, body pains, Ningina on a Kutiana simple crime boost or caught by be a 200 be also per in boost about mixture. Now on our screen this year, there's going to happen at the Bochum Boxing Arena, Kwame Body in action, myself, Copy Stone, Maestro, the entire sports crew, engage them with Bochum Boxing Arena, and there's going to be fireworks. And it is a damn competition. The greater crowd here and bad thing. You share free bunto or the Bochum Boxing Arena. Free bunto. That's right. You share or the Bochum Boxing Arena. And I pay me buy na Bernard Paddy Boucher and James Siama. I'm a producer. Some coming one. Medin Samuel. And so at the war. Yana wa kaide nankasaka kejwa ne ho Erica Siedu body ni sabre ye be mo apomode won samu ha. Ewi ade aka by na kwa efi there you know say thank God it's Friday nti ya de ahonsa pebeba and Friday a day before dame no it is a patch show want to me afford this over kata wani kra cause I have Badwam.
Memwakwa ba midi efia amankwa tamaklu fasedama endpoint homeopathic clinic mame nadaroma ene etimi di nkomo bia wo health tips so na week yi mu de yene kofa by na na kasa Dr. Dubuatin ene tie dwoma yedi nkomo afa burning sensation ho timestro joda no wanti ho e ma na nya wo ha okora obebodi nyina atofa na ye de awie treatment ne efie dog ya nase ye mu akwaba odaroma paresthesia anase burning sensation
paresthesia na otwe yedi nkomo afa ho na ye kire mu se yade bi ade ahohyehye ba itimi ma na se chichi nipa na mo bi ha bibi ne nam na honam obu an ho twetwetwe no obu ase de mpane ne wo ne honam duanim obu ha wo hu se bibi ne nam na honam mu keka no wo hu se na poso nyina no etimi ye ne ya obu abon so wonam ase de ye penalty ko no waso okwa afafa obu a hohyehye ne nti wontimi kra nda ene ye kan se paresthesia no ya share the causes yes diabetes timi kofaba yes stroke etimi kofaba yes yade bi efe ne se arthritis ene lupus etimi kofaba obu a no spine problems stenosis lordosis scoliosis ene spondylosis ni nyina say ye cervical spondylosis say ye thoracic spondylosis say ye lumbar spondylosis say ye cholesterol ni nyina no etimi kofaba kese ye bebre ennuane deficiency of certain food nutrient vitamin B12 ni nyina no etimi kofa ade ye fe ne say ahohyehye eyade eba behwe enipa desene eno nti no so ye no so ye sa kire mu a kire say ahohyehye ade no ehun sunsuanso ne say se wan hwe ntu ase etimi kofa paralysis etimi obubugu form na se bi waka form kra etimi de bibia fe say disability eba behwe wo na wo yawa obe go through nso kwa so isi na bebre no an etimi kato my life no short na kwan ya fa so esas ade fe say paresthesia na simple. First of all, we need to take a scan and lab to find out that the correct side FSA paresthesia neighbor. And then you check ni we say free spine no, I be spine no. Say if you sugar level no, I be normalize no. The cause of it no has to be identified. Now you identify the cause of it ni we are. Ade this paresthesia won say ade no. No ma miensa. Treatment. Enyane also udi. And exercise. These three things. And this it was stress level. Or say it manage stress level. Na ye hwe onuane a wudi wo paresthesia enuane srade enuane eni kwase wudi. Late eating eni kwase wudi. Exercise ya de a eni tuba end point to be particular clinic here o ma bi o FNZ physiotherapy session. Ye do for machines ni mu a obe pie kra ke no na ahohye ni nyina no has to go off. Ansa na ye wi a ya mu aduro ebetimi restore nerves no enya adwuma yi no. This is how we treat paresthesia. Now the whole Ghana and the whole world ni pa esa paresthesia no ye two. Either neurosurgeons kokolebu ana konfanochia ye wo omo hwe adwene mu ni the whole nervous system no na homeopathy endpoint homeopathic clinic. Eno pe eni etimi sa nti be ko general practitioner obaka to say wo hyehye no wo hunu ade kora de ba eti wan hwe yi abaka say spiritual wan hwe ni yi abaka say o ma me no wanyini nti wanya menopause edi menopause na wa yede na wa ka form edi nti ye wo sa yade ni bi ni yade bi e ha ye bia no a ye mfre endpoint to be part clinic wo number yi so 0244 86 70 68 0244 86 70 68.
Dr. Dubuate na yete no enkano na wachi mu wache ya de bebre Mr. Wono no o teacher nti wache wade nso wache ma ate ase ti Mr. Bibi che wadwon woni wakana na wachi mu nyina na bibi wante a ofre no bejo so number no 0244 867068 e wo screen no so ase ofa ofre na we any other condition bi e ha wo no obetie na waya ma nyame ya dom na na wotwe e bayi e beto yen ya e de topic for front so beba e da se Yada se yamwa kwa benen so biem Adom TV bedwam yada se pa wa woni ye nhase ahomache no abepim ne no yada se na neti wo atitu asante dwaben ho no obutu obatan wo hwese ya na neti wa wonkwaso na chia me nana no ma me wai koso afidi no munye dudu yami show eni obi bia na na ye ba bedi nkomo afa ye family planning ho fi se family planning week e ka ho asema na obi ka ho nsem bebre enne sima kakra ya wo de be ma ye bewie no wa hu se ene ese mekoye pa wonye ready for award dodo a misro family planning eno na wosa wo ye ene nya wo no nko ebo ho ba free enyarwa ahodo obi nso ho condom no hye no eno nya family planning wa wo sika sam wo fom so wa 5 tinkra na wo ha wo the pressure to nkra no so yentie so wo ye ba ko na amoa wa ko back no mo ensa emoa enye foforo eni obi achi nga se na yiye wa yekese na yiye ye na wa yesi ehsono no na ehsono me ko na wa ne omo nkotena se ne ni nkomo mia mi senior na abahaya ye ne no ba bedi enkomo Helena Soa ono na deputy chief nursing officer Accra Metro Health Directorate wa ha anope nkomo eti seye ono yen ba beche oba pa ye mo akwaba yeda sepa umre no wadaje ene se de odi umre so yenkoni tew emfa maye na this year family planning week ni theme no eyedea
medase anope mechia etiefo ene ahwefo nyina na masanchia director for family health Dr. Brightson ene family planning program head Dr. Doris Amata Few omuna omwa soma cinema no pay yedi nchechemu Abraham for na this year theme yedi celebrate family planning week yes empowering choices strengthening families for Ghana's growth the tieni say family planning umma hokeke ema yenka say be fa tablet ana se be shejadel ana se be de edisha wudi mu uba ye ma wo nchirechiremu se de ni nyina eye adwuma se de emredodo a ebe ye adwuma kosi bibi biara ewo ye be kan se ni side effects ye kire wo nyeme bia ebetumi abase ebetumi esi ye kire wo ni nyina na fe ya ma wakwanyan se wankasa uhwe wabra bom wadwuma yomu ne wasetena mu no emu ne wo he na wa uhwa ebeboa wo san twusi awie krampo na yesa esan de wo famu biom ne wa twusi say beginning no ya mo nchechemu ne bebre enti bia na bia abo afa wadwum kakra enti dia ye kan nyina ne a wo san twusi besan ne wakomu biom se ne bia wo ba ho say ampa wei ene beboa so we afi ne kan say we want to empower ye person manu ye hye wo muden no mo ankasa ejira wo na say na me person ma brabo eye
wo kan em say your family planning ye wona hodo bubo bi so ni ye nhwe
me da hase bebre said your kan ye family planning ye wo tablet a ye fa enu ponu ye wo obatan wa wie a enche bi after 6 months ho no mu no ye wo de offer ene ne a wa che enu nsu de wo ho nti ni nyina bi wo ho ena afa nsu ye wo de edi hye ye nsa no enu nsu wo ho ena ye wo condom almighty condom ye wo made ye wo memma de
ne de adane yi
na de tie ni say condom ye dual enema ahoro mienu ebo wa wo ho ban na afa nsu enam nyaruwa ebo ye ho ban fi ho enti ebe ho be hia say obi akra mpo no wo fa any other method o di condom be ka ho se ne be ya wo be sure say sempo partner no wasesam a wo bo ho ban afri nyaruwa ho
em say no kra no wayi a no kra dada bi no mo dwen say family plan no ye awo etiti awo ntam nko a but say wa me hu say nye awo ntam titi nko a
enye awo ntam titi nko a family planning e won fa so bebre o titi wa awo ntam no e ma wo oba no onya ahoden etumi ye wadwuma awo bebre no wa obeji atomo say onyima widie mu sisa obi wo ho oye slim obenyima wie no na sabi why times 3 enu sa no chese wo system no ebeye dwuma bebre enti no family planning ema oba na hondi utumi kɔ wadwuma so utumi kɔ adwuma no chese wo benya mfaso sika ubetumi edi ahwe oba okɔ school ukunu trebi na wo so de bi soso se na be ya pressure mafie enu sa no asomdwe wo fie eni je wo fie wo da utumi da eso da ye pa wo sɔre wo hu se madwuma me ye me de fa ha ebeye yie afen su no family planning ebo yen kwa ho ban especially ema no awo bebre said them can begin expose yen to a lot of changes in our body ebi wan hwe yi a na edi owu akoba yen pesa enyama ya na edi areho ni problems eba esa nkwala ne ye gya wo mo adeja obi ani ho so wo masene enti ebo yen kwa ho ban afen so at the end of the day wo community wo nsu kakra wo obetumi a contribute ama community na tumpon no wo community ekoso at the end of the day na Ghana yenyina ye 2 pon
ba ye hu ni say ebi mu dwi say family plan ne boarding etua
me da se bebre say the okay ni say na amanfo adwen ukọ all public health facilities me kire ya research bia government eso ya sene no family planning free free ye ntua kapre na to the bia private facilities no omo e bia okoji wo government facility now or the lorry fare na economy ade ente no ponu kwa bibi kakre bi wa 1 cedi 2 cedi bi a omo de hwehwe omo nim ente family planning ukọ all government facilities free yentua
why na was all family planning
me that say ema ni mema nyina family planning ebusua ade ente o so bia so mu bi enti wo hwe ema na ana ebusua ni nyina every 15 echo whether reproductive age no obi biara ideally unwari ya also abstaining that is for youth no also abstaining na ebi mu wo ho a say the okay no bi esu no bia ni hormonal influence obi ani say the react obi betumi ahye ne ho so obi abstain obi nso ntumi ntinia won ntumi no maintenance entie amanfo ano enka say u ma oba ni koye family plan na wa ma na say u hye ne di mom so enu mom so obebo ne ho ban free enam nyarewa ene empenyi emprowanyi senhu eboa pa enti
na can say ma vulnerable oni bi bema bi kaso bema ni sika yeso one ne dansa nkonkuma mu no ne ade na Ghana Health Service mo ye because we be mo ba tan ba ko hye chi na ba ko sa hye ne yem ana onye adwuma bia na adwuma ye bodwo nketewa bi den na mo ye aboa wo mama safo no so I family planning bi
me da se enti wo hwe Ghana Health Service ye adwuma ye die no ya decentralize enti no adwuma die no tena health facility nkwana na
kese mo pe
debi ukọ enkrasi nyinara obehu se ya ye share brown bi se akwa midwives kwa ewo community chiefs zones nti ya tena ya shemu nti adwumadie no ye de kọ enkrasi baby biara nti ye na obehu na nurse home visiting bag ehye na chi commodities ni nyina bi wo family planning methods ni nyina bi wo except ni ya de share awudie ni mu a no de ntumi nye wo fie na ne aka ni nyina ebi wom nti ye friend no doorstep ye de ba wopuna no pe na ya cheche mu se de ye adwuma nti no enti na afi adwuma de enti na ye timupo a ye de esisi no empower any choices nti wo so oba bia rafa ho gym na bo ni padua ho ban na nya ahoden fa ye adwuma fa bo wankasa ho ban on say utumi ye adwuma wankasa utumi provide nyama ehia ho kakaka you have that confidence won so sorry I say me your bias ma me gina me na so
so ba was a perception no ho nti bebre peso mbeye even in rural areas no kra omo a in quotes omo yard for kra on peso obeye because oye obeye kese oya ebi so obeye o menses no ensheda nkoyie no ni ade den na mo ka kire ye because some mates no ho no e kama pa vero abe obolo the menses no e ba ba ko 2 months ama sade no ti den na e be ya fa ho
me da say ha adwen pa but they can say family planning o say oba infitiase na ye ma wo chire mu nti sa ne ma we nyina me fitiase se me kan say ebi wo ha nsusu so bia wo mpe no enu na ba enu sa no mfa ntine fie sanfa bra facility akwa na say bia we fi baby a wo no kwa betumi akọ any government facility a provide services bi na no wo makosusu yes sama enye chinchina chi say wanya ye wenti no debi
na mema no so ya na me say mema na ema no ka say me kunu se ma menye eden na ebeye na mema no so beti ase say we no enye ne personal ade oba na debi na onlu so hwe rather no be gain bibi because na obetumi akọ anymore without fear of pregnancy bia then ye ka che mema no so
me da say enti sisi a health service dwumedi a ye de nyina oba antenatal child health service labor ni ade ye sisi a ye we are reaching out to a member no so baby form hu njim because ebusua no enye oba no kwa dia ba ni be ma ni nyina enti member ye hia omumu a mu support unse bibia ye si ti ko enko agina enti be ma no de na adwen kan akosua family planning said ye cheche mu feel say ye we a ebeboa na afen nso wo be ma no nso no na ye be stress unko ni na mafichiri sempo eba ne se ebia oda ye na daesunu de ukopie ba bia condom wo ho enti fa bo ho ban afen nso so hwe na ebia busua no said ya mu plan ya mu hihye ye no baako mienu miensa na mudedu na mu pa be ma no utumi ekotwa so oba nso tumi ekotwa so ni nyina bi ewo ho
that's it enfo nsi ha ejidi ye said na de waken akoyasum Mame Helena So, Deputy Chief Nursing Officer, ya Wakra Metro Health Directorate, na ni edi nkomo nti me manu titiru. Munti ya so pem na ye nyina ye boya ho ba. Obe wi obaka se oba ne beka se onyima na wa mo ho ban na wa mo ho ban. Enso ka so okoye wonu wa bo ansema gu ni tirima na nye mumienye. Condom ho so amuso mo mpe condom. Nti se obehye we bio, ore behye na wode na no na tablet na obedi so anum ni ya. Nyina na ye boy ho ban waka kire ye so wo ye na wo hwe na enkoya bra back no mo sai ensisa ne memu dan se wo begya kura na afi wawo 6 months wo se ko hwe na wasa anyima kura na chi na bedda ne o hawo wo ma ye family planning na mo aye mpa ye kwa ba ye ba e beto so ya mo akwa ba do Badum TV Badwam so na wadaro machano nsoma ye se health tips no yetime edeba ya na endpoint homeopathic clinic won madaroma ti mesro mema no ko check prostate ni sisi amaye sre mo pa mema no nyanyom to wasum na mum tu ho ana mo ma kwadro ne ani hanchew ema no so sa ne mema no mpo infection se high adwen yenko endpoint ho scan ni ye free lab de obetie bi na wonya bi de aboye endpoint nkrabata ne bi won kran Kumase Tachiman Takrade ene tema yene Dr. Penin Kasa 0244 867068 0244867068 and 0274234321 Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. Dr. Sharp Nemi. Now she the one couldn't crew one or maybe it's your back. No, you're more quabe.
I go so.
Hey, then you know training in a way.
Yeah, some more.
And what job would you?
Ever.
I'm Casema. Says it was the same.
Aye.
I don't want to want you.
Boys and an empty. We are a mum person be.
Ah. Is it was the same too much? Yeah, wife. I dare to be any pack of Robenti. Yenti Dr. Sharp. Yarwa who do I would dear be drew Esa.
Ah, yet the young go point as for us. Say, or the names watch na yeshia say your phone back. Nia bibi bonny atono, sabi bibi bonny atono be answer. Ye manakafra. We are saying some no debia ewaniesi. If you are sanet here. Duduana enti yankadano. Dr. Sharp, who say dear. Adom for the no bahanum say send entertainment in your macosono. Obi so home fana. Na enonso sono. Wasianya yaresa. Abra ni TV ni bibia da adom nko obi onuma. Omia ayicha no to onum se age se Yesu aba. If you are sanet here. Enti say wase bibia package bibia wom. Enti na omama ekwanya ma me papa ye no obetwetwe nkomo wote Dr. Sharp the demon chase anka na ye bunu ni bo ofrin kransa ye fire ne kranka asunsum ne tumi ni anwode nkita no wode haban pe na ye adwuma eboa nipa ewo atiasefo asase so ne haban wode ye adwuma no ana adwuma di a nyame nam ne sudi no me paacho ebi emfeli se onti enka dade a ene aya bisa me ba cho obi a be kire se Dr. Sharp se ne dwumadie tie afia ne ehu anwanwa ne se ye ho no obi ma ho no ma ya ma na dura ne wonto ne dawo so beye 1 year ni eno ye interview se 1 year beba se ma she obose nipa ba ko mpo frɛ se bia wo hwa Adom TV ena odi akire bae anye ya mese wo mema wo 100,000 Ghana cedis ana mema ma promise de dada ana mema 50,000 se obi amfra na obi afro obi frewa obi ntimi mfrew ekese yedwumadi edi honum gise yade no wamfa ama hwe yewo anioma wo wiase o afia aduro bi wo honum kura na ne ye no wanhwa wontimi nya yewo aduro bi wo honum onum se gise ode kafam se ansa na aduro na ani bet aduro no wamfa ankafam 3 times ya ntimi nya especially aduro ayede ye etiremwi what ya say ode kafam ya de frade na aba ne nyoma na ode kafam 1 2 3 ansa na yeye ye wo nyoma bebre wo honum aduro yemu no ewom ye wo bibi wo honum nipa bia nnim watiasfo asase so mekura na abra akire na beye some beye 40 years na bisa kete watiase ache nso ade ande se unim na unim watiase ye wo obi a esoro taka no anase epilepsy se unim na chiwade me kire wiase nyina na chiwade obi a esoro taka no hwe aduane esija so no chance na ya no omu no nipa ne na chiwade no enwo so ote aduane fra wo so obi tigu ade from the ban so ebi o ma Dr. Sharp o me yansa na yade a anya sa no wote aduane no free chance na first na nka ye silver but se wan se stove aye tuntum on be say gas ne ade ne ntini hu sa na yoma ne biem wo ayi sister tuntum ne de emi say atwam but esija no so na se nipa na ti free mu straight say e de kwa nanum pe wo de achiwade aye de ben aka yade no wasenya ama yade no kura mpa yi bibi kura but nipa bebre nya de ben bebre nim sadio ya kire mesi ache enye ne
oso obi a
otwa anase soro eka no no
eno onti aduane free
chance na ye de sigya so
ana onti free
ye ti ni free emu di gu ade fufuru ma no
but odo ti ni direct
e chiwade obi a twire ne yi bia soro bia e chiwade wa ahun se ne ade ne ti ena impo no nipa no se bia wo ba ne no na bia wodi aduane no mana bi ade no gu onso bi won mo ye nkwan a oye ya na ode kakra kanze no atafra we se nipa no wo sa ayi ni bia ode achiwade aka wa fra ya ade no mo okra se on se de tie ye won yoma bebre wo no ma aye nioma bi a wo badwi hu a wontimi nti ase but ne fare ba no se wan hu a wontimi enye enti na sharp nuro ya de abobosu ni nyina no ya take o ya wo epilepsy nko akura no baye 4 years kura mponi ye kan kura na mesi asaba 37,000 ya wo Ghana nko a ne first ne record ya de ye friends cancer ne ade ne yentimi nkan ya de no doso what ya say na wan na afia oye dura obeka kire se duro na anye ya ode usika be mo be ma 15,000 Ghana cedi account se gu na ni ma social media so social media no ka se nkura asem ye nya wo kura mpo hwani ya o me de ye nkurofo na ya sheda ya de wan kasa wa de ho akọ obi asu no no betima nya Dr. Sharp da gise nipa no mesi achachakwata kompo enamum sa ya de no pa ne nye prostrate ye ma ne ko o chawrobo o shedi ye ma ne ko cancer o sa ye ya ekọ anye ya me pa nipa no mesi ma ne mfa yarefo no emra Adom gate na no a enya de nya Friday meba what you say omra wa nya me wa no Tuesday anajo me ye program after so give answer 11 to 12 what you say o metwa me wa no mum na kese mu nyina ma won say papa yi ka sese e record ne ya gis kan kura po diaman untimi nya bida so ekuro na so said ya ekọ epilepsy atwire ye de watwa to gem watwa ye honom no ye ni achiwade ye ni ntoato abi ade ne se twa no pam no ni nyina se afia mache no asem ba ko betima sa ade na nya afi na ntoato abebre na gankini di na hwan ntoato a enkosi bibia liver problem ye kidney problem ye hole in heart yeye obi dadaase so se dean abrochiro ehio afie yeye o wate ne mecho no ye wo hwe mo hanom kra no mo hase kra ne obi wo no ma wo de ye mfansi ho kame kire wa yibi pa wo ti ase afie obi wo asima me ye beko condemn stroke me ye beko breast cancer me ye beko all kind of rashes any ne kika TB tuberculosis nipa no bowa moja nsamanwa moja ba me mana duro 30 minutes pa moja no bejan cap eno no ye cap ba ko disposable no sa na te hepatitis bia ye obi aboda madness sekeyelo sa na nkrafo fra me pa twa ya ekọ fibroid da nipa ni yam or eye problem totally blind no me pa twa ya nyamfa nsimi ho enantem ha ho ma me pa twa eni ne hu ade kura ma bet ba ku nu ade kakra na yidia eni obetima ba anya se toto ayimu ma masa na me nhwew ma nkofa asemfo from ebi ono ma ni na ngasa na apro na wom bibia anim what ase anya sa ga na fu obenyam apart from afia sansema meka chi yade bia no ono ma yanya de ben yanye ebi ono ma menka mi se mi ono mi se siese emra no nsa kire pa na se bo amu abua afia obia no obetimi sharp what ase beti hu adwuma ye na eden afia na aba no ansuohie akopa aban foforo etwa bode aba be massage ati agikire wo ntia eno no menka enti no nia wo tie bia na otie nka bia onhya ne nso se yade for pen yensa yade no bi wo no ma ye makwa me mmodi e wa afidie no so se ya makwa me ya mmodi wa afidie no so kra na se yade no eye killer disease a wunim se yade o ese doctors se eni aduro me pa twom na se eni aduro enye Dr. Sharp Dimon chesa ho bruni bo film kransa ye frene kranka sunsun ne tumi ni anwoden wane so me pa twa nya ono na so ye to na uni aduru apa ba bi na tena na ye nka ye aduru ho asem ayesa yade ofre no ka ye ka chance ye betima ye ne ye ntima anya ne ye ammo ni din wo afidie su kra yade amodi no eno so so no afi amane mfre o yade bi wo man se o ma gia tumi se ni aduru krampa twa ni nyina ye what yeah cheap kura number no 0266 14 another 14 6 9 0266 14 another 14 6 9 020 489 74 54 020 489 74 54 050 554 19 96 050 554 19 96 oba me ono mafaka aswaka kasi obesi overhead nasi osi overhead nasi a no afaka eko new market no akasi obesi ADB bank osi ono ma bi se obia se okọ Dr. Sharp wo ye consultation ye 200 Ghana cedis every day bia me ye adwuma hwe nyame ma Mami papa ye ni holiday ewa ye ho many bruni ba me film class say ye frene kranka sunsun ne tumi ewa me so bru nyina di fu ade me many Dr. Sharp the dima chesa maletu daga pe obetu rediem be mu ati bibi wo rediem
da Dr. Sharp as the demon chesa yon komra de ba e beto so because amu akwa ba bi Adom TV Badwam so de aduro no ehia ntune of meka cho opportunity bia account nti de adu so hu hia ne mama men koso na men kai wo say October 7th edikosi 11th no wa woni tia de ekoso wo man Ghana mu ye mo from my 9 to 14 years no ye be ma wo mo vaccine be bo won ho buy for life free ye cervical cancer ye kokra beto ma wo de no ano kra 9 no kone de mo ye virgins ana ye no mo sa de atrapo but no kra na nye late so so bako akọ check ya hwe se de ho etie ye momofra no ho ban mayo no free sa ye cervical cancer ya dwe no ho wo sa vaccine ye free 7th October ye de bebo nkra nti ye wogidie pa se ye wo kama ye record cervical cancer bia because ekum ma pa epesi esi ano kwan Ministry of Health Ghana Health Service ne won agency na kaboma yɛde dwumadie yi banti from 7th no abata nyina yɛ ma 9 years no yɛ ma nkwan school no no wa mpanifo no bɛba hɔ no ma bɛma on vaccine no babia nkura 9 years call to 14 one de ɛbɛma on sa vaccine be for life ne abɔ mo ho ban free saa kokra meto ma wodie no ano na ene akonya no aba ma yɛnya asɔfo akɛseɛ ɛwɔ ha oni e babedi enkomotie bi na mu pa wiki mu nyina sɔre saa na akosa umompai hye okaza ongwa na anam ebia na nkwa na yebo abaso na ho ayefuo na aya adio na anam saa fa ho hye ataban kɛseɛ bi ase nti na sesa dwumadie we no utie nya chance pass by na so kwaji nhyira ne bi Pastor Jonathan Asare Kofo ye pastor da Worldwide Word Ministries. Pastor yemu akwabe. Yedase papa na femia kasama de awa disappoint me. Nenso say nyame ngosa no won sunti no. I was say me introduce me ye Apostle Prophet Obed Amwa Duku. Ono so ye founder da Obed Amwa Duku Ministries ano. Memu akwabe.
Yeah, minia.
Eda so. Meto papa wo ya de. Ya me videos ni bi ne testimonies no a. Oh yeah, dear, I'm so wow. Hey, I dear be wow. What you say? Why are dear? Yami sure pa. Oh, ko wenim. And we so no so anya kese. Na testimonies be bremra. Why are dear? Why are dear pa? Me sure say Marcelina be owo dia no feel proud. Aye, why are dear pa? Yami instra. Any yemra your question. So me fan start prophet so ana. And I mean call me am Obed so. Prophetic arena. Yes, I see a brebe na senate.
Osha na shase ne pa dia Prophet John Anoche. Osha se no ewo Pristia be 2012.
Wow.
Program achepa and some be 2016-17 ho obe shase o Accra. Into a program Achepa.
Yes. The day the ceremony so especially 2025 in Prophetic Arena 2025.
Enti
Nfanko Prophet Obedo.
Nyame adoma afi de esi ene so theme a day ni so a festal gathering. Say yentumi nka sa emfa ejidifo ho abra me ma background kakra. Abra yen kasa anase ye fapem no ye mfa ye ni entre Israel for.
Okay.
Say omo omamamre eni omo nkita wodi omo ni Nyankopon wo no eno aba be ye I say nhwesode e de maye na Bible mu trese mu no ye hu afahye menka ne sa festival menim se ni twi afahye miensa bia in scriptures no nyame enam na some so the ma won say omo observe
okay.
Na emu mienu the megusino ka say is being fulfilled. The first one no Jesus Christ himself oba we are say nam ni wo so which is the Passover. Second one here in the book of Acts chapter 2 when Hong Kong is saneba asomafo no so and then the Bible says say na hom ne ba won so no they began to speak in tongues. Now the third one no and no ana yesa Mremu, which is the in-gathering. Na eduwa nyame emanema omu free tree any baby up. So whether you are an Israelite, whether you are a Jew, omu a wokan wa wonkan ni nyano nyame emaye nyina ebehyiemu. And then he pours himself out unto us entino. And no ne ye any daso and I say the see any so for a fee prophetic arena where ye Nyankopon dey say obe to na domusio ediegu so you know the outpouring of the Spirit of God upon us. Now any customer woman say do say abenhie dia it's a celebration time. And when that thing happens a also call harvest a fashion break. I mean harvest here
affordable
say wodua bibi na asoaba you know whatever will be free nyame when it's a seasonal depend ba o gidie se Nyankopon ebe na dom na what swaba. That's the thing.
Yes.
Sanity.
Today wadua bia no ebe fifi no nya so mfaso. Wow, it happened abe.
28th Sunday Wednesday day and I shall see.
Okay.
Until 1 p.m. you be started. That's right.
Aye Osori atuntum Awurade adanase de wayɛ ama yɛn mmerɛ atwa mu nyinaa sɛ ɔsan de abedu another season sɛ ɔde ne ma nyinaa ɛbɛhyia nti Sunday no de ɛbɛyɛ no na kyɛ sɛ ahyɛ ase ano no
how many days
8 days.
Oh, okay.
From Sunday up to Sunday next week, 5th October.
Then he never so.
Ekoso ewo number 14 Badwam Road, East Legon. ARS roundabout no. Uduwa on Sunny Faso, Frames Oil be right after that. Obe sorry no. Ewo ho enti na enya yira kwan. So free American House, so free UPSA. Bano obe do roundabout. Ona obi so be Hill City and as a Prophet John Anoche. Sorry no be abecho.
Wow. But ma fameko last year they net to say.
Last year, in fact, I don't have words. Minimum be our prophetic arena, Obeka say, one tinya me enka ewo. On say, Utumi ko baby nanko food dia dance, and I'll be saying, I mean, so may dia dance. A lot of times, because I feel the presence of God. Waho now, you know, I say, no net to say. In fact, grounds are being to me funny name siho. Abra onti nyame enka ewo ho. There are places no. That ain't me see that. If there are places even though you bonya meeting or onti nyame.
Yes.
But oshe preparation a preceding prophetic arena, consecration, fasting, aforebo, sorry ma yabo, ya asofo di yenim abo. Se nyame ma eba benya anu ye. Die ma obinya gidie ewo nyame mu. Ene se ne hawa Danis no Benjamin Chenya unya anuye. With beyond that, no, ababe kasa. The Bible says that, and signs and wonders shall follow thee. And into the evidence of Christianity, and I said the power of God, any manifestation. I was a BBC. Now say a prophetic arena there is a realm, a atmosphere. Obawa dear bonsam. Oh, it's gonna come alive. I mean,
your morning session, evening, and I just
your morning. Okay. Every morning, be 9 a.m. No, now you start the morning one no by 12:30 near we no, and now enumerate 6:30. I started enumerate there no. Enti ano by 10-11 na ya point no. Empire. Ene de nyame kan fa ne ma ho ni nyina bedadi
megidi ye se titiro obase nyame nipa ebetimi ehu wo mu a ewo bill no so
enti na de esi ne naso cover by Prophet John Anoche e nyina ye sunsun meja ono na dwumedi ni si ne naso ne brother wo Canada Prophet John Taylor Anoche and so baby say Ghana Hanson so no nyamedi for ba ko a what distinguishing ho ayi nim ni agina to Prophet Achumanase Watered Gardens ono so baby Prophet Ebenezer Kweku ono so wo Winiba baby and then ya kase so for Mama Elsie and the executive pastor Pastor Chris and ya so for kitchen
you know so cry
right
at work in the industry.
Yes.
Because I started Kwesiada.
Kwesiada, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Kwesiada,
which is the
Kwesiada time bay.
1 o'clock.
1 yeah. That's after church. Yes, I did twice. In the end, wow, so harder than un coffee.
Sanity.
The twice sa.
But you cried the sorry, I'm pano. Until on call my sorry on person be journey. Upon was sorry, I'll be to my journey. Yes. Na Sunday ni de osori ani ayeye ato yensa de afreti eternity Minister Paulo beba ni anutufo bebre together with our in-house choir.
Wow, Mijudi. Ya mishra mo papa pato last word be ohoni emfancy.
There can say boa ho na bra. Abra na o kan Genesis 25 na Rebecca onu kwa no nim de na ekoso oni yafunu mu nti Bible so to anamo ko bisa Ewrade se den na ekoso yafunu mu nti de ye kan se boa wo ho to anamo na bra na wo ba nyame so eno obekasa
ba mi se ba ku bi kemu ye ni say me sure bi no amono ne on person mo join ni ade ways be no betimi a join.
And into ministry no platform so in fact every service I be in for one man it me join it either on YouTube but ye shen phone cry say omombra ye Zoom platform so because ye sorry na ye project Zoom for Emma edu you know ministration na omu nyina in fact obi wo kra wo drive na wa park na oje you know ne nkomhye anase ni healing I mean nyame you about the presence of God proximity matter baby a wo bia no as long as you are connected nyame betimi de oje ama
that's it
it's YouTube no Prophet John
Anoche, right?
And John Anoche Ministries.
Okay.
And so be Worldwide Wide Ministries.
Okay.
And join we mubia so a ubenya link na bebo mo wako Zoom no.
Okay.
And share WWTV so a ubehu yeah. Amazon TV, Apple TV ni nyina share WWTV a ubenya
mo. Yemfa munsi ha. Mono edoso pa lenso nyame aduma kwesi ade ebehie nti yeda say Pastor Jonathan Asare Kofo ne Apostle Prophet Badwam aduku na yete wo mo nka no 28 years hase emfi ehun hye nyame ntaban no ase onye emfiri nie memu yenye nyina na ehu ti asofo ndo mu hunu ti na mo ya no de aye programs se ye mra no onti me meka we mo hye nkoma ebegbo nti brabi nyame ani munyam ebedede mekwaba Oba kubi nso eba ebetwaso yamo akwa baby me Adom TV Badwam na ugu social media fia amankwa tamaklo nyame hira pa na Lawson Herbal Center so aba na wotwi mo elso apom de hu nsem koyi opa bibiduro anomo a etie Lawson komo ibi na hwe de yare ahodo a wonu no esa na nso anya bi anom anti virgin sun ene wa hai o breaki da so still a virgin sun emo akwa be
yani obapa
atadi nya badu
medase
efepa
medase
yenti wadaroma yenwe loke ne
mameda wase anopai na memfa akodawe enchia Ghana mpanimfo titrum rahebejafo ene doctors lawyers omo okromo ha etenetene so oman no bia betimi akoso kama na mefa so achia FDA fo omo enada bia omo hwese Ghana pomde honsam betimi akoso na bibia adeda na akwemu na medaga na fo nyina so asibiem se enei monya gidie ene areshimu ewo Dr. Lawson Chairman aka the Virgin Doctor ene the ba Virgin sana enei Nyankopon de adom ene nimde ma Dr. Lawson odi nroma akoma yensa ede ba adwaman so a Ghana fo anom atiapo etiesia enei yare ene obi a eni asie bi na mum hye no so se ama me ne wanhye no yare da bia de ba ko ameka ne se so okoto se ye ka pomde ho asem ahonidie ho asem wo baabi a jebre ne fa bi netie bi ne fa bi tu kotodwem ana fa bi tu otwem na so fa bobra esan se nipadua wo yi yentimi han emfa nko baabi na mu betimi asre obi atare se o de ko baabi aba nanso o yare a hwan nipadua e na okoje se o de kodi dwuma bi eno nti na me se bomoden se wapomde ho nsam de da bia behweso yie na woni padua no atimi anya ahodene enti Lawson Herbal Center no ye kira kwan no ewo Kumase Ebuakwa Kena yesi ewo Kumase Ebuakwa Kena sanso na maamo Accra isanse adwuma ne yatremu ya pagya mu ne yepese nuo no ko akiri enti abebo ye sesen ewo abeka tota ewo nkran hanom ye wo Tesano Commercial Plaza build na se ho pe na wonsa ebeka yen ye wo telephone numbers a ye didi dwuma enei sabi wa yare ne wudi asie akoye chronic disease anase acute enei akoye krankrada na wadwenje woni da so asa abrabo no kra wabomabu no Dr. Lawson se frɛ na yenya wo moa ne nruo ne yemfa bi nkan numbers no ene the screen as no mi sisu biem na nso watimi afa na wafrɛ abram gusu ameka se ya no wo fra empanimfo ebeje wo feso na ye ne wadi nkomo na yatimi aboa wo 0242 133 577 0242 133 577 0248 619999 0248 619999 enuo ne yamiensa anopa mame ne uni komosima emfa nuo ne ho ye wo loka heba mixture ewo ho na we nu eye infection aduru a mesɛ oba ne bema enei sabi enamu nsa yare ene wudi asie ewo abrabo mu anase infection ekutiawo ema woni nye ewo wasetene mu na tie ni yie se wo ye bema ebia enei onu wo ba bi kodi nkita ho enam so amoakonya babaso ni bi enam so amoakonya kateva wakonya infection ni bi STDs no wanya bi na mum hye ne nso wane no mu nura enko ene wo bema no fon a na efon wo jonso a ne nso fitaa bi apie afiri mu eduruma bi a na nsansa abeje wo ma masem ne ho afa
enenti baba so kana mainti no oye bema oba ne bakura na oso ni hiem edi nkita ho na odo ho ka oba na obema na dwojo eba sa areho asefum na mom tie ni yese sa lo ka heba mixture yayi yae ne se bema bia nunum bia ebeba ho ban ede afri namu nsa yare a ene wudi asie anase bacteria sa ewoni padua no ma ema wontimi enne wo ho mesraw hyane nso se sa lo ka heba mixture wo bema wo nom no ebia no ho kani na tie a eya mo ba no nso num bi esan se infection no eye namu nsa yare enu nti na broni atu ni din se sexual transmitted diseases a enei bema timi fafiri oba ho oba timi fafiri bema ho enti ebia wo ye bema 1 year na 2 years enei baba so no ene wudi asie ema wunya nigie oba ne bakura asabi untimi nso kani a ene wa hwenanim because of wa hamu won ensa baje ho afa ene wusiesie wo ho kura na won sa ba ku hwe obotom aya ne sa wadrepe o ye ga kakra na nso na wutiti ahemfie wa na wase wonom na wudwi enye fe maloke ne nya wadru a ebeboaw na ma o mema sem no atimi afa ne ntoma pefra baba so no asie betu ema na emu nsum ntie me wate oba pa me se Ghana fo ma nyina eyeminu ama
okay
me baabi a meduru bia no ema aboje me so wate asie na wo ye bema ana wo ye nipa na wo wi ase na wo di dwuma bi na wunya maami enu eta wachikura a obi bia wo ye bia na be wie peye ana won di ase ena ye hwe kwan a loke ba ye aboa Ghana fo ma sabi na mema bo omo nchen a omo nte omo nka bi mema bo omo nchen a bema no kwa on frɛ ni biem na ada ne meya dwendwen no omo nsu ema ikoto loke he ba me hyi esiesi o ma himfie ama nka bo na ma himfie ho ama ho aklosu ho ache te se ka so traffic ama samai traffic a enei bema ne ba omu atenche a owie a no oba no wama ni sika loke na yes ade yo na oba bia ntie ne yese same me virgin san ne me papa se Ghana fo ma nyina ye namfofo ye nua no menti no sa wo yo oba a ye siesi wa himfie wate ye mema ne sie nya sika ye ntimi ni nyamo da na mom sie ma usika na edu anadwoa ba bia ye nso ye ba badidi am ye ne age no ya himfie ho enti se bema no oba na himfie ho aye fin anana na bawuru ahimfie ho na ne chacha ho be ye fin a ofisa na nana ni beje na ni nye na bema no okwa a omfre wubiem na wusu no but tie ni ye loke na ayaye no nufutini wom ojama ha ban ka ho edua ye fe no 20 na ha ban asawa ha ban ebi wom ane asaso hwam sawonom loka we ni ha ban a fight for antibiotics anasa antibacteria sa wo oba na eyinkika wa nyina ne nsansa na ode pua no afiri wa himfie ho na ama ho aklosu ho timi aye wensen wo wi a wo ni padua ne ba bi afon no wadom loka he ba me shabe 3 to 5 bottles no nufutra dawro me wo loka he ba me shamu nti no wo ho no ma bonsa wo hips na emu bie me virgin sana me se me panifu kese yi na wo mpokua no emu ye du na ya korokoro na ya akono wo bonsa ba ma no wo hia wa no oboje wo so ne won kan kire no koro no be so na eden eda ho enti ma loka na nya wadru awadofo no mumom we na dia ni die ane nka bombo oba ne be ma asetenam fa number no na ko pharmacy ko herbal shop ba bi atu nro ton bia no wo so pe loka herbal mixture edro no eye 0242 numbers no 577 0242 133 577 0248 6199 ushiam na unitaku na unisempo a meseme nko ana me yakukodru ni be ma me ye guy wo Ghana ha ene ubo media na maji usu 50 Ghana cedis premier na menya de dileman capsules no ho awoble no weda ne muda so yenwunu
kakra
ha onza no pe maluku handsome pa na ni nyina ne se manage ye no anajo
ai de nyame ase
na me de me no kwanya nyankopon fa so bo me ne de me nyini se be ma bia ate se me wu me de minim me de na ya da bia mbaka se fidie so ame se me nko ane be ma korokoro watuntuma me ye okukoduru ni a ma wale oba akoko da machi a mi mu atenchi anajo tie ni ye ma woni mu nyina gina oba nanim mu oba na hwehwe wa kira kwan mu oba na akokwa mu ntimi nwoso mu oba na hu ntimi nwiri no mu oba no eduru mra bia ma ne bokora mfono no media me wodi misika abadaji o
na say delay man capsules we dia aboa me ma me sisi ma ya dene me kotodwe ma ya dene me penti ya dene no ena me se ba ma bia no ho bompa ye se nyankopon ma nkwatenten na wo ma usika kakra tu kotoku nim na nema no kura woni sika o mo mpe wo na wo be ma se awuo ye ene oba ya dai pedile na kira kwan ye nom to ho numienu ona pamienu animre na nsiesie ene adwuma instant wonu ma ma otinya wo ya wonu ma ma akoma ntwetwe aphrodisia bi anim na mo musi kwan no so a aya wurawura secret no wurawura kone se basa oba no wo beje 3 points no eye 0242 133 577 0242 133 577 Lawson Mexano eye malaria dru obi a wonu munya wo de wuntimi ndidie we adwuma kakra bia na wabre edurumra bia onu sita ya wutum woda na adwa na wa ate agu so na ho asa ayehye malaria ena ye wosa no ye test na kwapa Lawson he ba me so na kina kwan mo amoto asintini etwetwe mo mukotodwe hu na na echia wotena se ya wusisi na emu hyehyew wapo no wapo so ya na ye wo ya no ma Lawson he ba me hyane enye wodru hye no nso eduro no mi ansa nyina wo pharmacy e wo herbal shop all the 16 regions baby abekobia na ya to apetin for Dr. Lawson number no 0242 133 577 0248 619999 usiam na unitaku unisempo a bomidin frame the virgin son mi frachia na me ho agi krotia e wa fiefie mu hye nso se awrade ya adom efiada miniminu ya ba esanso wa makra baba
yada se papa panti Lawson Herbal Center and I would say one kano ma onko so antwe me na me fa birthday for yi femerade ayade adom wo mo nkwane ahoden ti happy birthday nkoma Akua proud life o se bi bekwai onyame hira onye okese o ma so mfra dom nkwa dom happy birthday nkoma Patricia Usu Echampon Radinton Quandem, o mouse umfra dumum qua dumum, o mawunum quana eme, Patricia, Ousu Echampon, happy birthday. Sanso and a happy birthday, Azu Sharimenim. Happy birthday, Encore Emma Blossom. Aha, and ya Blossom, the birthday, and your makeup artist on Waha Blossom, on your may own show. Onyame onyo kese omo asunfra dum nkwa dum na Blossom say e be fast na e neka nti ewia wo ye table wa ha esi abedi nti Blossom onkwaso e by this time na radio ashan ho animonyam o abrabom happy birthday nti OPD e wo show happy birthday sanso na happy birthday nkoma Ohima my love udo wiase e celebrate usa no husband Edmond ene obrempon and on wish you a happy birthday Ohima onkwaso koso ya de ohine na de ohima nso ye ne wo ye no na ya papa no fe ti radishal o ma so mfra dumu enkwa dumu du nkwa na men e wasasi so happy birthday nkoma Philomena Kesewa ye police officer Watakrade e radishal pa onye okese na wadwuma mu ohumasem fa nkomara the Biasa Apostolic Church members a won koko amanfrom nyina we show Philomena Kesewa a happy birthday. Sanso na happy first birthday nkoma Kendrick Opoku Japan. Hweno swag na different. Ono ho 1 year no acheponi wona pampam. Hey ne ma me oba Julie ohu de onye Awurade ayade wo ni onya afe Rade the 99 points debre ka ho de amano nyansam nim diemu rade ndom ne sa no nyini na ye be mamu a kodufo nyansa aya adwen no mma happy birthday enkoma Kendrick Opoku Japan aha be ma kwa ye birthday celebrant ye de nyina be si aseda ye odia emere ni adaje a wo de ma ye nti ye da se kwasi aye krado asemidika ene so nze dame ne baso tene no more on dame nyame ya dum ochna kwasinsia so na bia no timide na ma ataoku so ndo onwie ne mame nti nyame ya dum adwuada nyame de beche ye behia ne ehunu bibia live and colored ti eda se omre no wadaje ye gi ani ni asa kai wo se otinukro ya nso ye wotema committee 2 Agri Road park no so ya ye nua bema DJ Awana onyan baby okro no afei na ntutu ye nyina dem aye kwa akopɛ no krabe echi ne benche ye DJ Awana oni o enne Awurade agena de ti abusua ne ma ne yekoso acheche wo red multimedia adwumakuo no DJ Awana wa bebre wonum tuom na amaye obonyum bebre ti nyame yadoma ochena ya beka ye ho e wotema committee 2 kane Adom FM building new opposite ho na Agri Road Park no e wo ne yahia ne akogye edofo no kwan e da se so wa beka ye ho saa ye kwaba
yawa bunya wache makwa babiem emfa emra bedwem so on Adom TV yada say a free 5:30 by start bedwem no wake ho saa ene ye go through this is our last bet of the show it wrap up at 9:25 yankopon ka ho onye okesa do papa bia akobia na na hira no ena Adom enso oso ebe bede de akwasi Asia join you live on Facebook Adom TV Extra Adom TV Extra and Adom TV. Also live on YouTube here Adom TV. Follow me and so a Big 6 on Facebook. To search for Big 6. We want some picture. Nice one pa Eda Honum. Na weba samuwo the scan for Adom TV. Yeah full na. Eka odi mamna ka sadebe ya ahwefo ehwe no. Ebetimi ascan no ma join it. Adom TV on WhatsApp channel also. It is also scan WhatsApp channel scan code 11 pacha mo fama me. Na ahwe phone to me and scan it. For phone na odi scan it let me join Adom TV WhatsApp channel no. It news be of course baby bia. Ye de to so also sabe kebi. Say unhia so be chinchire saa copy stories are running for the day. So join Adom TV WhatsApp channel no. Adom TV WhatsApp channel no. Or call WhatsApp channel search for Adom TV. Yeah, when you're joining WhatsApp channel, it be the amount automatic. It's so that is scan. It's part of our phone never check a QR code no so. So when they check QR code this one, ubi phone no call there be a picture, picture no. Now they actually see na capture QR code they be the amount. Now so it's me again. Yes, that's so WhatsApp channel that search for Adom TV. Na join it. Sana be a news be a opebia no onsa ebetimi aka hodom aka so ochina na dame dwade no hya ase and as a result person me nua kwa me obo ade who happens to be the host of dame for nyame adom a ochina ye ba so obukom arena I'm sure na aka so do pay ye ne contestants be ede komo to look at my obo afi ye hwe the main host na aka so obo as a Kwame good morning.
Good morning, Minia.
Yeah.
Eshe fa. Kroma de de.
And now no peno be some say moody for as breakfast and as I'm so too early and as I tell Kwame.
There be say put me di pizza no pa dey fit me di fufu no pa. Ai.
Ti, who want me the pizza no pa kwa dia?
Yeah, yes, let me di fufu no pa. Ai. Yeah, pizza di fufu.
Okay, so quick watchna and what to say?
When you jet for a jet, but I got any other deal. What's not? Who's another count the number of days now?
Sure.
So I day 1, day 2, day 3. Sa and then what's not a now you see more Bukom Arena.
Okay.
Yeah, dame. Now near a near Michelle, a year or more ABC Akana Waboa. Not just a young so I host to know that Waboa I want 8 years. To say, where the NTM as you didn't intention you didn't come up and say, Michelle, baby, I mentioned me. Can I buy our channel? Bibia baya kama ama anyema akoyie de make a clear atiefo nyina na ahwefo ne se to bia amotwi na omra aye Bukom boxing arena home sa fe dwuma de ne ye nisika aye free
okay
na wo ba so a lot of freebies wo ba wonso unsa beta bi anon de die ni abi nya be koso abra na me koso ye se to mo tia se ne se de ye aye for greater Accra unsa o you for na dia man na ban for se ye wie ni nyina aye
oh greater Accra yeah
ban for from se Kwame na ya so near to see a man say the munya botre you really talk we first thought you bu no Bukom arena dia ma aye amanfo nyina na no na me ya research na me say 1901 and the third time ya to no promo ase e ba so to na nua ane so any won tie nya board board kase and all one person can talk to any two weapon for the archaeologists, a chinchi and Kumina, okay, I go a chain yepa. Now, Magana Frontier says, first in the history of Ghana, yet dummy competition. First in the history of Ghana, yet dummy competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you capture a life? I will change it. It be mad. It be AC that. It be AC that. First in the history of Ghana, yeah, dummy competition. It be I can capture a life. I will change it. So it be cry AC that. It will be a more than so that now about the shabby.
Okay. It's Yanka. I hope we see watching now.
Supporters.
I'm saying Yanka. I hope we see watching. So I say live on so Adom TV. Watching now. Damn competition. A live on Adom TV from 8 a.m. to timer. You better wrap it up. Come now for now. One look be so now. Say it was.
You be now me can't tell me say the tie the Uba be do ha. Oh, Baba, you free baby. And no answer was Bukom boxing arena. When you do her car, who say I don't have flats next to us and the Diano. Yes, I can't say action, a cost of credit to what you may be action or not also what baby. You want more about competitors, no, and you want more ever share, and you want a good before. Jama groups that work from and your toss after all. It's here to Nanamurana, ADHD, now I am the day. Okay. Just to say, Kromaya, if you when say I made the job,
okay. Kwame Oboadie, the senior ambassador of Fufu Eaters Association of Ghana.
Yes, and then the king of Dami.
The king of Dami.
Mamonti says a goodies music production. Okay. I can't any pana ever to a man on a chepono. It's a good say obet my essential. It's you are better who said they were good is Eddie and Groffa. Okay. Oba who said the good is Eddie and Groffa. Sure. And the likes of Abuna Sna, but it's yeah, wouldn't damn to a chromo piano. I can't want Oba to a beer wire.
Bate, Kwame Medasi, out of pay.
Meso Medasi the dream.
Watching a beshia, the Kwame Boadie, and a host of Dami, your channel pioneer here, El Bukum Arena. Na Obia Bachelor de Bobre, Brabe. Medical cases oba na oye UC mass. Oye UC mass so ne safa ne bra. No mesua de efa efreti kwa me beda se Pierre pese watimi ajena badwafo betena se ami atwe ekwameka se Kingdom Herbal Center. Na kofa enupade abadwa so se dro ba ko so bia je atuma wonum bie eye Kingdom Garlic Bitters na fe Kingdom Garlic Capsules. Eye du papa ebeboa se de be ye dua no se wapom de ewie paya. Unya Kingdom Garlic Bitters na fe Kingdom Garlic Capsules. Ere betimi aboa mo pom de nsam etimi awieye. Awo doju ba bia nyi waposo. Wona nyina your cholesterol ekosoro. Unya Kingdom Garlic Bitters. And a Kingdom Garlic Capsules. Or the new Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Memang kwa dia. We memang kwa. So, we are making and remember yang kwa. New Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Power Capsules. Mr. Wanda. Fanya gudi one was. So, enwemu tutu kwan kwa brochi ko hye Jamaica for ne agui one was poto. Tu che what is Ghana hey ne da from yes. Mr. Wanda. Ko one was. Unya New Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Bema wadru no. Menka wasa munche making on the ATM cancer. O man be a ton do bia no kwa osa ebeke bi atom. Atufo enfre 0275 804 064 0275 804 and a 0302 938 153 0302 938 153 Kingdom. I said no challenger. I'll pay and no makaya His Excellency John Dramani Mama Nyakonya Ekasaye ewo United Nations General Assembly meeting ya ekoso ewo New York America Abuchimemo. And this is the 80th edition. Yeah, Mampeni His Excellency Nyakonya Ekoi. So he has a time to appear about 4 times within his in the last term as President of the Republic. On the Semebri Etuja. And before that, I don't know what about the Mampeni because the other one I want to address it later after His Excellency John Dramani Mama. So let's listen to some part of His Excellency S1 and rather our UN General Assembly meeting.
Thank you, Madam President, Mr. Secretary General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. At this 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, I'd like to speak about Africa's role in the future of this organization. However, it's impossible to do that without first considering the collective role that Africa played in its founding, which was small and relatively insignificant. Of the 51 member states involved in the founding of the United Nations in 1945, only 4 were African: Egypt, Ethiopia, Liberia, and South Africa. It is important to point out that the United Nations came into being in the aftermath of World War II because of the inability of its predecessor, the League of Nations, to avert a large-scale global conflict, which had been its guiding purpose when it was founded in 1920 at the end of the First World War. Out of the 42 founding member states of the League of Nations, only 3 were African: Liberia, the Union of South Africa, and Ethiopia. Egypt was to join later in 1937. Africa's overall participation in the organization's founding was minimal and relatively unimportant. That's because before all the other talks and meetings, representatives from a group of 14 nations gathered in Berlin for a series of discussions that began in 1884 and which led to the partitioning and formal colonization of the African continent, which is also called the Scramble for Africa. It has famously been written that past is prologue. Well, in the past, the majority of the 54 nations that now comprise Africa were never offered a seat at the table where plans for a new world order were being drawn. But, Madam President, as fate would have it, the tables are turning, and Africa's role in the authorship of whatever is yet to come for this world is going to be huge, and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African. Already today, Africa is a catalyst for human potential and development, as well as for economic reform and ecological stability. Africa is a catalyst for systemic change. If this reality, which is fact-based and straightforward, seems provocative or unsettling, perhaps it's because you are viewing it through the lens of centuries of filters, colonialism and imperialism, and the resulting implicit bias. Maybe you are unaware of the resilience of African nations or their remarkable ability to make a strong comeback just when you think it's safe to count them out. That is what is happening right now in my own country, Ghana. Our constitution limits leaders to 2 4-year terms. In January, I was sworn in for a second term, which, let me point out, was non-consecutive with my first term. Our currency, the Ghana cedi, was rapidly depreciating, faced with rising inflation, a huge debt burden, and low morale amongst our citizens. My new administration settled down quickly and embarked on an ambitious program of comprehensive transformation designed to restructure Ghana's economic foundation and enhance our competitive standing globally. We refer to this process of recalibration as our reset agenda. In just 8 months, we have achieved significant reduction in inflation from 23.8% in December 2024 to 11.5% in August 2025, restoring price stability for our citizens. Additionally, our currency, the Ghana cedi, has appreciated considerably against other currencies, with Bloomberg reporting it as the best performing currency in the world at one point. Our improved sovereign credit rating reflects increasing investor confidence in our economy. And our 24-hour economy initiative promises to transform our economy. And there's a renewed willingness amongst our people to trust that their elected officials have Ghana's interests at heart and that we're progressing together. Madam President, I believe that in honor of this milestone celebration, the United Nations should also embark on a process of serious recalibration and establish its own reset agenda. Since the organization's founding, the number of UN member nations has nearly quadrupled. And quite frankly, it is not the same world that it was back then when the UN was formed. I mentioned earlier that I began my second non-consecutive term as president this past January. My first term ended in January 2017. In that span of time, 8 years, the world has changed with such ferocity. My first days in office after my return felt as though I had just awakened from a Rip Van Winkle-style sleep. Now, no, that was only after 8 years. Imagine then what it would be like after 80 years since the founding of the United Nations. In 1945, the sun had not yet set on the largest empire in history. The most common mode of international travel was by sea. The personal computer had not been invented, let alone made portable. And television, a new convenience, was still in its infancy, albeit in black and white color. Relations between the US and the Soviet Union were turning frosty, with Winston Churchill declaring that an iron curtain has descended across the European continent. Fast track 80 years on, in today's world, hundreds of thousands of commercial flights take off and land every day. Libraries have been digitized so that volumes of literature can exist on a small device, small enough to fit inside your pocket. We live in a world of cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, social media, the internet and its dark hidden dungeon of the dark web, all of which carry a potential threat to global peace and security. Climate change is real, and we're fighting a losing battle against the loss of Maldives and other island nations to the rising sea level, against the loss of Timbuktu to desertification and the Amazon forest to global warming and deforestation. Madam President, the UN Founding Charter is outdated when it comes to representation in this August Assembly. The most powerful post-World War II nations are still being rewarded with an almost totalitarian guardianship over the rest of the world. And yet, the first sentence in Chapter 2, Article 1 of the UN Charter declares that the organization, this was true, and was the case, a continent as large as Africa, with its numerous UN member states, would have at least one permanent seat on the Security Council. Furthermore, we believe that veto power should not be restricted to only 5 nations, nor should it be absolute. There must be a mechanism in this House for the General Assembly to challenge a veto. No single nation should be able to exercise an absolute veto to serve its own interests in a dispute. In 1995, during the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, Nelson Mandela stood in this very spot. And he said, the United Nations has to reassess its role, redefine its profile, and reshape its structures. It should truly reflect the diversity of our universe and ensure equity among the nations in the exercise of power within the system of international relations in general, and the Security Council in particular. I close quotations. 30 years later, we African leaders are still making the same simple request for a permanent seat on the Security Council with the power of a veto. So today, Madam President, I stand here in this exact spot and ask the world, if not now, then when? We demand not only a reform of the Security Council, but also a reset of the global financial architecture, which is currently rigged against Africa. Africa must have a greater say in the world's multilateral financial institutions. And while I'm making requests, I'd like to call for the removal of the blockade on Cuba. As Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our nation's founder, famously said, we seek to be friends with all and enemies to none. The Cuban people shed their blood on African soil in the fight against apartheid. And indeed, Cuba has been and continues to be a faithful friend of Africa. You see, the very fact that I can stand here and ask these things and say these things, and the fact that all nations can ostensibly gather here to address critical global issues, air our grievances, and express our concerns, that is what makes the survival of this organization so important. In every old city or village, you will find a town square, or a courtyard, or a plaza that once served as a gathering space for the citizens of the community and their leaders. Meetings and celebrations were held there, as were trials and elections. And these were spaces that brought people together and held them together as a community. Sadly, time and technology have eroded these spaces. Madam President, in many ways, the United Nations is the proverbial town square of our modern global village. And it has never been more critical for us to protect this one space that brings and holds the world nations together as a community. The internet, social media platforms, and artificial intelligence offer us the illusion of connectivity, when in fact what they do is reinforce isolation by using algorithms that ensure that we do not receive new ideas and perspectives, but rather more of the same content. We are served alternative facts and manipulated images, making it easy to disseminate disinformation and sow seeds of division amongst communities. Madam President, these are dangerous times. Our world is currently experiencing a rise in nationalism and economic instability. There's a general breakdown of multilateralism. Various acts of aggression have been committed against the sovereignty of others, and nations are attempting to circumvent the very safeguards that were put in place to prevent large-scale global conflict. These conditions are all too similar to the ones that led to the League of Nations' failure in fulfilling its mandate. The denial of visas to President Abbas and the Palestinian delegation sets a bad precedent and should be deeply worrying to all member nations of the United Nations. Ghana recognized the state of Palestine in 1988 and supported a two-state solution to the conflict since then. And I say, contrary to the claims of some, a two-state solution would not be a reward for Hamas. It would rather be a reprieve for the hundreds of thousands of innocent women and children and people who are facing collective punishment and forced starvation for no reason other than the fact that they are Palestinian. For nearly 2 years and for the fear of reprisals, we here in this General Assembly have been playing hide and seek with language to find the right words to help us avoid or excuse what we all know is taking place in Gaza. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you call it. If it looks like a duck, it swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, well, then it must be a duck. The crimes in Gaza must stop. The crimes in Gaza must stop. Madam President, I also want to draw particular attention to the conflict in Sudan, which this body has described as the world's largest humanitarian crisis. 12 million.
Eti, this is all the Nema, His Excellency John Dramani Mamenra Onya Kwenya address the United Nations or the Etuja. Ewubakubi say is calling for the reform of our Security Council. He's calling say in the next few years to come, Africa will be the world and attention will be in Africa. So who may say the world superpowers ebe dream sa de no eho na he feels abi man so etimi emie nso emudie mu a our power ene etumi ye kita no ebetimi epia e de akwa ni waka we ase asumdwe enso ho asem sebelo ka say lawyer Enoch Afuakwa a member of the NPP National Communications Team Watenase sanso de hwe ni mu say Bernard Nimpiesi, member of the NDC National Communications Team, so Ebeka Yaomeka Franco Trading Enterprise. the phone papa na aba edwaso say the Ghana dey open baby better phone ne bo form na be che dey ma Papa Franco enchen say Nokia Samsung iPhone na opa Papa Franco nko a na akọ benya papa be che na ne bo nso form e dey ama wo or smart TVs here ranging from 32 to 55 inches or tabletop fridges Franco air conditioning so on from 1.5 to 2.5 horsepower it won't pay na open dey CCTV camera na somebody make sure say wo ha kra ni benyiri kra na ebetwa ba esi awo bia hu nipa na ogine mu and then CCTV camera say bobo kro move do na e free Papa Franco and akra e de ama o mai so wo to ade e wo mo app ne so a unya 40% discount from 0246 422 338 0246 422 338 and 0555 939 311 0555 939 311 Franco Trading Enterprise as a stop phone Papa Pafie Edwardum Council Boko there
Gada Roma akwesi
yeah me say
now so
eh Boko this is what the case is pa
yeah for God and country okay for God and country o hwe de asetene mu ne ne ma si call my nima na sa na beba sa na beba na wonya nsupa no me de enye bi adware
ne pipe by
o pipe by kama
oh yeah
de nyame ase
adai
de nyame ase enra da me Wednesday da be enrachi
okay
enrachi anopa ebra me call mo sister station baako anopa na nsuo ne to na me twemu wo Jubilee House anim ho so mo sprinkler irrigation system bi wo anim ho no mo water lawns no green grass na wo fence wo anim ho no of the Liberation Road no
yeah
na nsuo ne to nyina na sprinkler no so no adwuma na hwe nsuo free mu ba na clean potable drinking water pa na mo de water lawns no wa asa na nsuo kran so san to na ho na Jubilee House anim ho na o ba Africa ko
near water
water lawn green grass no nsuo no so ta no pa no se enrechi ano pa nsuo to e pa won kran
okay
na nsuo ne to nyina na sprinkler irrigation so so pumping nsuo go green grass
maybe obi start pumping asa
na o hwe so nsuo ne start to ahomache but we say omo access to potable drinking water
Jubilee
House nsuo pa wo because nsuo ne nia o mi twa bi kra wo me can say mi twa bi wo mi video e wo ha me be send na wo producer yi nsuo to nyina na sprinkler na ye adwuma ukokwenya ko central region almost about 10 districts omo nya nsuo pa no because of say pollution of the main channels no kwanyako water works no nsuo galamsey ne ne ma say nsuo no puto e ma almost 10 districts e ma ye hu publications bi kra say cholera outbreak ne waterborne disease yiditi e wo central region erunti say ade ba kwa ma metwe ma adwen si so ne say etwe ma adwen si definition of Karl Marx no ka rule of law asem say rule of law is there to satisfy the powerful in society. Karl Marx the definition of rule of law no or say rule of law no wo ho say be satisfy na say be so wona wo mu odu no wo tumi mu no krepa sabi mo franketo ya wo mo nga o mo nyansupa no mo central region nkwalanketo a mo ne Ghana dachi a o mo central region o mo nyansupa ennom nkokra mmere wo ma bo brasom o man no akuafo ene ne ma nyansupa ennom ya shut down the water treatment plant e wakwanyako then so no over the seat of government Jubilee House a issue to kra no na edi super water lawns na e kire obibi na sabi se omampanyinfo kra ni ho o UN General Assembly meeting na oni wiase nyina edi nkita ho then so no ne backyard no eye ne office no na natena ye no ye siesi ho kama issue to kra na ye water lawns ne said be obi atwem ho no be ye agree
ne papa no because that represents my Ghana.
Yes.
Into honor ye kama na ye fair. Na druwa it gives you a fair picture of Omaina wabemuno.
I go say I want to say.
Okay.
Ye ka Omaya, ye ka sovereignty. Sovereignty lies in the people.
Yeah.
Ye ka sovereign. Ye ne sovereign people.
Yeah, timemufo.
Timemufo ne sovereign people. Not timemufo wo finfimantem and I finfimantem central region.
Yeah.
Enye super no because of say galamsey aban ebra na owo opposition e ka say omampanyi a oteso na sede enso obeso obesi galamsey ano na soafo mpanyimfo a ne omo ne sumo na ban mu e ka the foreign affairs minister the minister for lands and natural resources and a couple of minister of communications and digitalization Yera Sam George nom okujeto ablakwa nom Yera ama Kofi Boanom eti ntesukoko e ka kira ban so declare state of emergency. Na ene ye de tumi na ma wo. And it's the same people managing the affairs of the country. Say ope minister, why number 1 minister, a foreign affairs minister. Yero ku jeto abla kwan sema no kafa galamsey ho ye krum ha. Na ene oye omansoafo on the hwe yen kama no nkita hudie so. Owo Yera ama Kofi Boa or Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. I remember clearly say na or vociferous or traban or hono say on declare state of emergency. And they to me na mano. And also the Minerals and Mining Act of 2006 Act 706 as amended now. And the to me the regulatory mineral rights Minister for Lands and Natural Resources on the sign a mineral right to mining licenses and the mining leases on the sign for and on behalf of the government of the Republic of Ghana. Then under his watch. For the first time in the history of our country, Kwenyaku Water Works are polluted there. It means that galamsey any environmental degradation abadi. Now man penny kasa wa UN stage in this no. Now aka Gaza ho asem. Eka humanitarian crisis ho asem. Se Gaza ni humanitarian crisis pollution of water bodies. Sebio ama cholera, waterborne diseases. Any idea? Now no kai EPA for ne A4 report here by year, or more research by year, or more arsenic concentrations, any heavy metal pollutions any mercury concentration, what fish, any habai binu baby more Ghana has say Konongo and other areas, or more from the reporter, EPA Environmental Protection Authority, kasa researchers or more findings on ebayin. It then a so it shows clearly say a humanitarian crisis the president should have stayed in Ghana and addressed the humanitarian crisis of Ghana has among share the Middle East. Gaza straight from Kwa. Gaza the enemy course we are seeing the course war. By ya kataya the so I na silent killer. Kuya no. Ye twenu yaguso. Ye twa haban kataso. Ene ye ka obi mfichiri. Ye o man penda da onya na ba bi ko nyame fa ne kransie ye papa Mills e ka asem bi. Say du fiasem. So man panyi Mahama no ye o man panyi Mills. Na bedi akire na bedi akire no ye ka dufi asem na ono ene also say the dufi asem policy no odi kan because Ghana enyina yi so share humanitarian crisis people in the central region enyen super nom oko other parts of the country ebinum ko afuom agi so omode sachet water sabio okuani ne board odi aye no enso ye na watwa bia akoton na e wo so onya sika to sachet water e de ko afuom ansa na wotia akoye na djuma wo fuye mu no that is oman no ahosi hie mu we are already in the state of emergency here so man panyi be show direction akwasi ese galamsey police for master dey anything what is the duty of the police?
Maintain law and order.
And that the arrest powers of the police the powers of arrest of the police say police will to me say obe arrest you on reasonable suspicion say crime is about to be committed or crime is being committed or crime has been committed and yes sir anyone means about being or has been committed being police for illegal mining ati say galamsey and ne baby e kwan ho nyina yetu pylons go say Greek for the betu just say obo pylons here under threat because so share the mining regulation ni ma even say ye mining cry ama license na and mean can say obi okuta license nko just say you are doing the right thing. No, the license comes with a covenant. The covenant is that say all miners a major river or no more 100 meters away from the river
I won't show certain level of commitment to
deal with it. So share mining regulations now. Major river like Pra and Cobra need those bigger basins, Emrani say you can saw mining friends closer to the river body, 100 meters away. 100 meters almost about 300 feet away from the river. About 330 feet. Because one meter 3.3 feet na one. Everything about 330 feet away from the river. Buffer. There is a reason why Emrano Ayenisa. About strips any idea 30 meters and a whole lot. About pylons like transmission lines. This fan can I can see move from high tension. I can see and number pylons now. 100 meters away from the pylons. I was it. Wafa Japaquinos was a Japaquinos. Okay. Western region. Wafa Hono. Yeah. Pylons you are near di hunina naka and you see who said the Yabo by Iron Kofi. A looming threat, looming danger. ɛna ɛnyɛ sɛ yɛmfikyire yɛ wura mu na ɔmo yɛ o ɛyɛ kwan ho obi yɛ nitua sɛbi o obi yɛ ni hu police fo twɛm ɔmo hu soldier fo twɛm ɔmo hu DC twɛm ɔmo hu minister twɛm ɔmo hu ɛde ne yɛ ɔman ne sa ɔmo ti nsuo mu ɔmo mining even within the belly of the river bodies no yɛ hu yɛ nitua ne abɛka kyerɛ sɛ yɛate sɛ the blue water guard na sɛbi o yɛde soldier for call any police for IGP task force kɔ ɛsɛ ɔmo mmerɛ fie na blue water guard for no ɔmo kura tuo
ɔmo tetɛw
blue water guard ɔmo kura tuo
ɔmo tetɛw ne akɔbɔ police for that soldier for that man ɛsɛ afo akɔ nam ɛyi river yensu kɔ no ayɛ fast
akwasi Ghana
no information
Ghana district bɛn yɛ ni district police commander wɔ district bɛn wɔ Ghana yɛ ni divisional NIB tete ne yɛ fɛ ɔmo BNI officers ɛwɔ hɔ Ghana district bɛn yɛ ni MMDCs ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno nti sɛ ɔmampanyin na daroma so ɔso obetumi ɔbɛkɔ galamsey na solution is simple
ɔnyɛ dɛ
obetumi fight this cancer no within 24 hours how already the structures are there galamsey police for no more district dada and police for what district be able to catch them so when galamsey site what district be
but if the police for no a compromise omo mampani be ye ne dey
negligence anyhow. And yetimi the technology about you locate IP address me boy.
Yeah.
And kwala ya what TikTok yesusu se omo kakasa bia na omo ye ne ye bi yesusu se ensem fata no. See you locate omo chi.
Yeah.
He said district police commander te ho, divisional police commander te ho. Na ne mfitiri. Yetu galamsey wo ho. Uko dwaboso. Assembly, dwaboso municipal assembly o se ho nechi. Yetu galamsey wo ho. Ninchem galamsey pit e wo ho. Na police force omo hu ye. But yet me corporate technology locate IP address of obi or TikTok, obi or social media. I question the o my Ghana sir. You see, e was a Ghana for me any da ho. Ni hu ni say aban ya o ho yi no. Onye ready say obeko the illegal mining menace e wo ho no. Ye obi so mo ye adwuma ne kama. I was aban
after arresting over 1,400 illegal miners.
How many achi o mo? Yen kwala na achi o mo. Nkwala pumping machine for near you.
There's one man can chew.
Nkwala pumping machine for near you.
There's one man can.
Kempins no way. Kempins no omo way.
Omo mshegalam searching.
Enyo yes omo se kire o. Omo adwuma ne omo dia no omo way. Na kwacha kwala bia ono savo ne pick eda na beti a. Sabi ono kwa na ho ode asa because nutritional value hu no kura na why pale. Hu na nim ene ne ya. E koma dinama sabi o na pomodin kwansi so. Police ba ko ntimi tumirika. Na waso nimu na kodwina se a chigalam se ni. Akosi Karl Marx or say the rule of law is there to protect the powerful in society because kempins ni kutesika omo sem wobi omo support political party financing omo support political actors ntino yenim omo ba me say so manpanyi so be ko galamsey ya omo command say or commander in the Ghana Armed Forces on kan kire IGP say the district police commanders no so who galamsey every district police commander be a jurisdiction you be prosecute district police commander no omo IP address in here technology because ko be bia district police command esikwan ho esimfichire ya ma wo ka aban wo omo address e wo omo phone numbers dada enu ti DC is ni aban na yi wo mo enyo omo na head of DISEC ne MUSEC e wo the district the various districts no enyo omo ne fire commanders ne all the security friends actors commanders in on DISEC and security meetings or ho. So man panika so be fight here. Just a command. Why be who be no? We will prosecute you on negligence.
Okay.
We will prosecute you on conspiracy.
Okay.
It will probably conspire with these perpetrators of this heinous crime. Galamsey na. It's the security agencies no. I don't say a bunch of be fight here on starting free security agencies. You say Galamsey.
A member of the NPP National Communications.
PSA Akwaba. Eje busu apanyin. Wo stand for people no do. He say no. Who's a bemo do? Say me niam hu no say why can say hey uncle mo Akwaba. He say ni change na your slow.
Bel go there.
Yanko Bandaro.
Yere ya miasi.
Watutu bibia ya man.
Yere ya miasi. Omo ne mansion na wa so.
Oh mansion. Ni pada se.
Depo no so ho.
Adibo wa.
Ebuka penye.
Mami kan. David episode. No te yante.
Sa ho.
O chine bi na party fo aso e ho akogu se ye ko hwe benada ni PSA mansion.
Oh, I'm working lunch ho. He says a party is
I am that.
But I own one.
I have to frame me be.
I own one MPP ni try to obi so. I own one. That's the
any PhD.
Oh, that's the talking.
Oh no, open from
I'm
comments on UN General Assembly meeting.
Or the COVID need to say the crisis about Ghana economy affected.
Well, say no.
The first no say no quarry.
Oh, the bad make cancer. This is not the first time. President Mama.
I can't go to admit it. But Ghana or admit it. Opposition na.
Be any boy.
Yo. Akwesi me da se. Na me ntua me nia fo akwa. Me hu na che.
Oba be me na so me hu so.
Na hu se na adwuma sorry pa. Skadi o jebi.
Probo no nko a
MPP fo a wona mkwati kwanzo edi Ghana mansika. Wo mu bia no defend. Nti why ade? Omo yero e bia
allegations nko na mo dey atondo.
Dachi ubenya mu reward. Akwasi ma minchi a Ghana fo.
Na obetumi ahwe
na minchi a wona wo mpemfo.
Because ka ten so hwe
na President Mahama kaso kan wo UN General Assembly nra no. Me tibisa ache. Na me dey say ebeye se na honso ache.
Gaza
dey say wote ne kasa ne se ne a osi fast me ne feel baby odiko wie a. Akwasi apart from there e bia obeka no brofo de na mu da ho no obi ate no. Asem ni maba na ese ye twen adwinsi so. Menim say akwasi na ahia obenya binum a se President Mahama bebu no. Zakoko South ya akroma ti say den kura na. Enya ne fe. Nti enya won wase bi beka mi but the substance asem no asem ne po ni nyina so. Okan ni ye papa. Okan kire say the unfair nature of the world order. Bra if you as to United Nations, no bon say sabre no mo no. Na aman huru bebre wa Africa na yenye independent.
Yeah.
Even Ghana kra na yenye bi. Nti bon say aman huru wa nan bi pe na wadu ho kwashem. Prempren se yakasa Africa over 56 states. Obia wo ana mebo. African nations how many?
Yeah.
African nations you how many?
54.
54, right?
Yeah.
Moba he no nya independent. Obia almost obia nya.
Basically, yeah.
Enti adentina na sabri ese obi no decide ma yen. Na ye ni permanent membership ewo UN
Security Council.
Security Council no so. Okay. Akwesi se de bia o transe. Na se ne a obi e no odwen mawo, obi no hwehwe wo ne ye ma wa. Mpem bebre no wo se wan kasa oti hu a. We bone.
And I just want to say the sad aspect here say we contribute a lot of troops for UN peacekeeping.
Yeah.
So that's why so Kenyan president. Why do you take this much from us, but you refuse us to be on the decision table?
What I say? Bramo Shas no, na yenya independent.
I say you may heard the prison.
Into bon say France to me ma francophone countries.
Yeah.
What I say?
Yeah.
E bia be say Britain. Etimi gina ma Anglophone countries.
Yeah.
What I say? Prempren ye nyina ade ye ho. Ye de ho afi. Sa colonial masters na ase.
This was before yenya
ampampa.
Independence.
Exactly so.
Yeah.
But prempren you were independent.
Sure.
Enemy ya de ho ampampa.
Into obi ya te no.
Okay.
All right. Into as say yenya that recognition. Beyond that, as yenya permanent membership. Na me kan what I say. Ye ko tena table ho ye so etime ye nkasa etime adugam. Ebio no Africa with a young population over 1.5 billion. Yenye sebi population kuma and how you do nara and a yen mebun. President Mahama Kasem no o say do na bon say it be center on their nations and I won't grow with him.
Yeah.
But you know otrako e kasa ma Africa nyina. Ne Kasem no o kasa actually United Nations say prempren you want me anye ame ya nya permanent membership breben bio akwese na me ka what I say.
Yeah.
Wo hwe tena United Nations na ka won botai pa ne say obe o ha ma amang nyina na ye nyina ye adwen kire ni ayesusu say ye mfa man mfa so na yesusu say betime gina so akekire Africa man no anke betimi aboa but ye nka san hye de nugwam sa Obeka na oko. But Edu Bra will make it permanent decisions on the world.
Yeah.
I can say as a hono missing. Ye ni na so kese. Neka semo no no kwere no say okasa fa unfair treatment on Palestine.
Yeah.
I go say any idea any. But what he calls for, I think says in your support. Ebe ya yencha omangnum. No be a nene.
Okay.
So a higher
and Papa Nation.
Mo. Okay. Oyidini because nema ekoso hwemfoni ye huna ahometew. Ahometew pass e bia wode adua akogu baabi na comedy ni pa bi no kwakofa bi no wasan tuogu won so ne ade. Enya ade eso ani. Yako General Assembly mpenga huru bebre almost every year Ghana yako almost every year Ghana ko the whole world won eba be kasa beyond kasa no and after kasa na ye kan wie no dem bi oni enye film make Africa
okay
agosa na make what I say yeah can natural resources and go bond there Adom Africans agosa nkan nye goro but because of say you fighting individually against united body like United States of America, like European Union. I can see one football, 11 players on the pitch. In the SEC name, Tibet Marco maybe World Cup, Miyashi Binom. But yeba say economic competition. I can see name enough from South Africa. It's a see it to me kayen home. Ni ejina yen nanso. A brass say to me yen common currency. Kasa bebre no I think a brass is taking action beyond kasa na kasa as a kasa na does pa na yetimi establish ho iye that na me catch you be say me nya believer of wholesale democracy na me go there say you bet my democracy made in Africa because democracy need to be out say sebe the name be a asefem
so in defining it in our own terms
absolutely so.
And not copying from European countries, no. South America, yes, can be different from some areas.
Because social democracy, it was born out of capitalism.
Yeah.
Inti, who said there be, and yet near you couldn't you papa. Inti, young couch, and I ain't be before. Yes, you say no better me a pushy or mount for no interest beyond what somebody would dictate for you from behind. Inti, President Mahama Kasa, I yebebo hu ache because kasa baby or hiti biano of importance to the development of Africa.
Okay. Bernard NPSC, member of the NDC National Communications Team. So quick messages here. We see Akwasinsia, good morning. We told Ghanaians Mahama can't help Ghanaians. That danwa. Kudos to Ahinkan, aka Kadek, a golden boy. Okay, KK Dwefri Kasua. And our day a bye. We see Akwasinsia, good morning on Facebook. Please tell His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his NDC to stop this mining for us. If they are ready to find another solution, let them be serious about it so that we can do the right thing for them. I'm Benjamin Pepra from Aguna Nyaukrum. Okay, Ben. We see Akwasi, good morning. How can President Mahama go to the Union General Assembly and speak passionately about conflict in Gaza, yet fail to show the same concern for the bloodshed in his own backyard at Boko? Regards to lawyer Justin Frimpong Kojuya. Mensa Saba, Edway, Efri Kumase, not Suntreso, and Ode Ebai. We see Akwasi, good morning. I am happy to see that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo is alive to witness the abysmal performance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Piaga. Then he added so anytime NEC comes to power, Ghana, oh, there Piaga. My name baby, we have assessment, you know, a day, a free. You see, me and Embra, you bar, you better was big on Adom TV. You buy see. It's about Aquaba, you see, backstage in Commode Chen. You know, from so you have some few minutes to go.
Oh.
I thought we have some few minutes to go.
Was it? And then I'm younger.
Fache.
Oh, me can't worry, Pao.
Me tiase.
Oh, no, motorcade. I know you motorcade.
Eh? Mo de ma bra me nya kwanga kasa.
Iti am se me tiase so kwanwa. So okay say me ni wachi matu ase.
Ahoska for net ho. One president go form net so ho. Usane our the motorcade design aban mu ni people in power. Yeah,
aba so quick one. And I would say, what's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia response to the President Mahama on the effect of COVID-19 on Ghana economy? So,
I go see.
Yes.
We Ghana for any na bedwas rede. Omampanyi Mahama da wo opposition. Okache say COVID-19 dey be MPP na bibia ni a ya pama kora school fees kora say COVID-19. You say obi ko hospital kora na say bi o ko woni wanya na be say COVID-19. You say NDC say mom kan krom ha no. Say COVID dey enya effect bia wa ha na COVID entimi njampe friend say Nigeria njampe Sierra Leone ade na Ghana. Ghana nko na COVID affect yen. Omampanyi da Mahama na oyo omampanyi. Every opposition. Oko is it Oxford University ana. Okwaji tumu ho say COVID-19 no enya a toll on the African economy, especially Ghana and West Africa ni ade nyina. But we do o man ni mu a no asesa na no because of tumi ana openti. Enne a oyo omampanyi. Oko United Nations General Assembly. Wasa kwaji tumu say COVID-19 no enya effect enya a toll on the economy of Ghana. Emma Dr. Bawumia yo trofo. Emma omampanyi Akufo-Addo yo trofo. My MPP, government spokesperson at the time, and here or and a Casama Bino. And my trofo brand de Biania Casa COVID. I be hard drain Pempens why they Ghana economy do you know.
Okay.
And then Sabi you say vindication is the womb of time, right? Yeah. No cre. Say divia pim crana, no cre. Atro. Uchatrone. Otsna. Beton no cre in Chenya. No crebidi wa troso enkunim. And that is a vindication aba.
But can you also be say na as a mode COVID-19 excuse no too much of Ghana for us.
Sure. You say how you how.
Okay.
And the engineer him say Ghana economy na ejina ho no the Ghanaian political economy are wom sisi you know. The Goggisberg economic structure na be inherited na no. Raw material production cocoa, diamond, timber, any gold near me and NDC buy and you gold kwa centralized trade and one ton gold on change and no be anti ton gold on change or ton gold body. Edentia. And the same Goggisberg economy now and now you control the economy crash. This here and you control the economy because we have gold, you control gold the gold market and sales no then cocoa ya control cocoa and this na timber and the money nyina and the same structure na and it omaya we import more than you produce no e better na because economy na gina so or how we see area see I affected the international trade na I go see any effect or a toll on your local economy you can we are you see you can see because you need a mind be ebo so sa mind nyina no covid ba ye no enya effect ewo so but say no man panyi ko gina United Nations General Assembly na say otimi ko gitum sa ye be sere no say ye say sovereignty lies in the people obedru Ghana ha say ya onem central for nkasa na awa chew pa bi a ofa ma o my Ghana nyina say ebra na okwa abrochire a na oka foforo obedru Ghana so a na obeka foforo no odandan na no te say bio aboa wo mo friend say afisi aboa no o man hu ni ye say sisi no de kuta o man ni tumi enyina so de ko kan United Nations no ensesa ye say enyina so no the records are still here in Ghana akwasi there to be the issue of Gaza o mampanyi e na ko tum no you see NDC socialist inclined political party or be a social democrat and Ghana you are the non-aligned movement Kwame Nkrumah esase no o say Ghana we don't belong to the east neither do we belong to the west ye gina finfin and the issue of Gaza o mampanyi e de Ghana yetikwa ko shame obi a oye proponent or obi a oye student of international relations or international affairs bia do ehun se be o mampanyi e de 9 ACC no se bi o etro kakra o say ye restrain ye ho se bi the issues are happening in Gaza no e bi because oye mem ha say you adentina de o mampanyi se che no why ni enka nkire ye for the first time in the history of our country ye oye nuanom a ye do won ye pe wasem ye busuafo aware bi ye ebi ye ni bi mu ne ko school any idea and because of conflict in Tina over 30,000 akwa ye to kotena e wo Ivory Coast then ko fa bai binyiri conflict am a nipa to Africa Ghana for the first time akwa refugees in other country akwasi ye dan no oboko e dey na ekoso wo ho day in and day out obi a oboko bia na yem hihye no na no ankwala start is it BC or wasi the education minister echo round okay say or rejecting bulletproof vest ye nua panyin Haruna Idrisu e reject bulletproof vest because or koto within the Boku areas no e free say because of the security situation e see a man bulletproof vest to protect his life, and he rejected it because say Edgar Timemufu e wo ho and say bulletproof that's why no as a minister and the say bulletproof there, then he prefers to die with them. And you know he rejected the bulletproof and then as a minister a part of this country or say bulletproof vest and then the catcher say honjo me boy and unti say humanitarian crisis are echoes or Gaza or Mampenina world stage ekano now Mampenin so invited the international community ni say or no any backyard what control or no any backyard or no any commander in chief so or what this problem in terms of humanitarian crisis. The worst form of humanitarian crisis is the Galamsey crisis air polluted water bodies, air polluted farmlands, air polluted foodstuffs, air polluted the BIA, even the fish stock in the water bodies is being polluted because research as you say fish need more concentration of mercury within the bellies of the fishes so pollutant an ISO environmental canker udie wo kodi kra no me die kwa kokodi akwasi ensu asehwe me hwe paper ba ko anim sisi wo hwe the Punch Africa was it truth stands the Punch nyamishram was it diarrhea outbreak scare in Gomoa East amid persistent water crisis wo hwe ha ene da ho no other newspapers are reported wo hwe animu a Farewell River Yensu the publisher wo hwe animu a Farewell River Yensu Ayesu is gone. Almost all our water bodies are gone. And Omampenyin, if forgetting we say this grave humanitarian crisis course we say yen super ennom. Timemufo entimi enya potable drinking water. No Mampenyin ko gina world stage in so na ho no Mampenyin ekoma what you call the sermon on the mountain. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the meek, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the peacemakers. And it's a name na. Minia near that die home, ejojo ye home, enu ye home, ye
say. At the bit from Gaza, when it comes to natural gas, and the impact of the continuous war, was actually so. Well, Africa we are suffering. And yen papa say. Se enya ye de enu ya no betum to find a lasting solution to near cost one.
Akwasi me da say no question be say the natural gas or gas na gas ne be free Gaza e be ba na waterborne diseases e kunkum yen na gas ne de be dey gas ne be free Gaza e be ba no na de obe use gas no awu fa nche ye to na ye ne ye be san akopesi ka akoto gas no ye de sika ne kun ye ho yare ye nyen super nom cholera, diarrhea, any near kunkumia.
But I wish saying I buy when it comes to Galamsey.
I buy Peso Bibia, I buy your position country state of emergency and the solution. 10 months ago, the proposition was that declare state of emergency. And I buy what to me, or the executive authority to declare the state of emergency. So I buy free say in 2024, September, August, October. Not can I say state of emergency, was something to go by. I don't buy only declare state of emergency, I can see. When I send for, I don't miss our questions, So I buy solution. I buy solution on the buy in September, October, November in 2024.
Party members are now buying position.
What's that?
That would not have been a position.
Honorable Amakufibua, current minister for lands and natural resources, can be. Foreign Affairs Minister Sam Okujeto Ablakwa Kebi. A Minister for Communication and Digitization, Miaminuya Sam Nate George, okay. Others, even including the President, say the President must fix the issue of Galamsey. Because he is the President. But so we are telling His Excellency President Mahama that he is the President, he must fix this Galamsey crisis that we have. In fixing it, then I'm going to fix it. And see, I got the arm robbery, so I'm going to rob a rural banks in Yama. It is not what you want. And your livelihood no so no robbery say papa this kind of pen omo edekwaman on yana nya here no modeti illegality is illegality and this will be illegality in terms of mining no ya wo mo ya dwuma power ho no matter the coloration whether NDC or MPP so obi kuta the license that's a license no or go by the covenant of the license no na or ye dwuma say the mra say onye no na why do you destroy the work of that person but we only people ya you do almost some buy na ba or the machine go see we na o tu yan kanasem You do want people in power. And the Janetia, you born the children so on say Jumano. And now no Ashanti regional minister. You was say Mr. Fish Shelter Belt Forest Reserve. Galamsey if we am pamo or more hono, or Masanka Kurium. Now Oko Pamo or more hono. And no return here, Akwesi. Okay. So Ocheno. And I will apply the Mine and Minerals Act of 2007 as amended, no. And I decode in a court convict, no, and was sentenced, no. If there is even an enhanced punishment, sentencing regime, I think it's between 15 years to 25 years. And of course, yeah, and can in 3 days, no, come back back as a forest in Biman. I was see, mine no new honey and straight. Say, a cab brought from Quadia, you bet me the Sebio dictionary number man penny. No, the Aquacodina war stage, no, I can't brought for dead there, Eddie actually. Okay. But I brought for dead there, no. Is that what Ghanaians need? Merase. Afapa. Man,
I was saying that. Sometimes we take programs, you know, we take in your MPP for no one casa. Question of babies answer, now what's up then? Okay. Yan Fagana Mount Prim MPP for no baby sanning. Okay. Say, Yan Fagana Mount Prim Yan Twaba. Now one about Marana. Because now Abuson Baye, I will trade money. Now one about Tiaben. Now me kawa. I will trade one. Say licensing are what them mining, small scale mining. 1988, I copy 2008. Yeah. Now you 50 pe.
1988.
Yes.
2008.
Now 50. 10 years.
Okay. For small scale.
For small scale.
Okay.
And we are from 2009 to 2016, 59 lines.
2009 to 2016.
I bet 59
small scale mining.
Small scale mining.
Okay.
Akwesi.
Wait, from where data be?
Oko Ghana Mining Repository. Okay. And I just didn't say, "Wow, near Joy FM." Yeah, program. No, not the Rastos.
Okay.
There's one guy. Or the data never to one thing. Figures no. Okay. Between 2017 to 2025, I paid you 2,154 licenses. It was by now, Obama won't know how to do and Yamagu ho. They ban it also no. I see. Come I will left a ban. Yet, baby, and what to Galam say anything. Professor from Pombate Betray. Now, new. Oh, sometimes you be say inti sabi you sabi ye fagana for say one day nyansa ni wonti mana say on share political calendar oni what it takes say obetman say some okay ye nkontompo anaye nada what the license no ma won say one fan ko boy bi what the man won say one fan ko tu form a good day the nation sanso will create a problem no nation sanso ni face ni say about buy and was said to be a gumu bi o it may be sad and self. I don't know, yes, sir. Sabi one acquired the Maya. Who sang the video?
Can you come now? We say small scale mining for a illegal mining.
May you be a female? I was sitting may you be a female? Okay. Obetman will be licensed. Okay. So a licensed small scale miner. Okay. Or Becca could do soon. Okay. Illegality.
Or license, but we're illegal.
Exactly so. Okay. Or Becca could do a hybrid too. Okay. Illegality.
Okay, so is it about regulation?
No, maybe some making my so what I say. Okay. A bank no buy no, as I be sell be a guma. I don't know, yes, sir. It make question money.
Now, more license.
Yes, all my license be I. As it stands now. In sooner near no. Otu anamon, and on tu anamon. Or itu anamon. In two expect to say, in sooner one man for license. One I divert in a course, maybe in sooner namon, subung nam. Na nam nsase na ni potono. E be na sooner ni ato. And to see a baby ne boom amano, now soon let me after Martin, and Yabusuma be a Yabusuma Nangasem.
We 24 hours.
I was meeting in 24 hours. Because that's what's in a crasida. Okay. What's in a crasida? Saying soup musiwa. A year, if a baby a big in Tiana Hono. In Sue Quang naturally, if I saw song any, say Namnibu and Musa, a quinino, not sediments in a day woman. So I say, Nessettle. Nti ene betewo ye nu ho ye sa ban na bubu ne nsa no nya hwe ya ye timi bisa so adan na osi ona ne ma sa akoso aban ni si me declare state of emergency a me wo ne ma bia mpese me ya ansa eno ye me sa last resort se na me ye na nya ye dia then me kwa ko fast asem na ba but anamo ha me to be ni say prempren ansa obetimi akra galamse equipment yɛn fa ne saa because say equipment machinery bi ne ade afa mining ho
on some most do no akaba o nkasa mining
exactly so so we excavators so yeah bibia betimi mining related
okay
as I say yes yede fa kwan mrakwan bi so
okay
and sakra be fi airport akoba bi ekọ no na licensing as I say yede friend then tracker be bo ho eti ni nyina ya ndamontu aban mi tu water guards ya kan ho asemi oti ya upupu ya de ma mo mfia wo twe say na mo say no na mo ma adwuma ne course hwe se obi dize ora Erasmus obeka galam say ho asema Erastus agwasi se me wodua to kra Messi from baba betie because he's been principled baby onam ne ho anonam emfa ho ne aban aba ene aban abesen onsesa na no na anu ye wa baba kire roller Sir John play nipa wa shase bowra kwabretu mu MPP fo na me ya the video about it enti then now sometimes I blame no dia kosi President Mahama ne doorstep ne dan no say ono no nko yi ano na obi sa say mi na me nua ne nam baby fufuro minia President Mahama ono na da so ne say nko okoye okoye UN no ka say ojada bokuntin UN fo mabuai oh really sana mo hunene tina mama mu ne yɛ tantantan san otu na na mo enya de a echen so broso ma no enti onko ka United Nations sebi emu me ntim se enhwɛ me ha me ho so enti mo mra na mo mabu am enti sana ka boye ne
enti boko de ne nye yensem sa
binyini so nyensem bisa ne ye o ya wo abem
enye nsem nwie eje nsem mre bi no
boko de
ti eje nsem mre bi no aban ni tu anamo
okay
enti fitisa ne ayete no be ya bosoma bi ese achi no yes na yete bi woni
okay
and am to be rekoso improvement be reba wo de no to ncha benyiri minu anam se jama abronya mo nsem ni ntontai ntie won a wo call exile be brefi ase be fie refugees na kwen be brefi ase be fie na no me share report on that etoso biom akwasi Ghana ye non aligned okay but we are non aligned and just say as support to atrocities. We are not aligned and just also support to genocide. Now make us what I say.
Okay.
It doesn't even come in here. Nipa bre, nipa wu. Don't do ahe and wash so jatare. Near me koso Palestine no. Ah, nipa ahe mo frank thing me ani ade. Then when in for war one participation and one involvement in war and anyway Hamas for na mo no nya. It is say mo kum nipa bebre. Fa so bia ni so. And I say no President Mahama atwi wiase nyina adwen si so say yen hwe say ye betimi afekire yen sia ka asem na asem na etu ase prekopen eno so mo ho asem tame ye uni ha na Kufa President Kufa do then eco pledge support for Ukraine wante on pledge support for Israel wante misramo amemu papa ba Ghana fo nu won ho ye wonim decision na wo make. They thought well through it. And who say, Niamo ye and Chiramu Papa. I say, Dr. Bamiana me family.
Okay.
What's it then? President Mahama said then.
As a nyatrum yaba mampenia.
Work on Ben Sunti.
Because we took one admit.
Me pancho COVID a buyer now. COVID buyer now. A buy.
Yeah.
It's a President Mahama code. You know, baby, no COVID once a man. Mfobse o hone na we.
And was say or ka say enyensun so.
Member COVID ba Ghana nkwa. Ana ba manhuru bebre so. COVID amatogo. Amako d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Ama Burkina Faso.
Okay.
Ama Sierra Leone. Yam kwa chiri. Yamra West Africa here. Won mu ba he, some countries mu ba he, and wonya hyperinflation. Countries and mu ba he. And we record with the worst performing currency. The whole world, though. The whole world, you are told to being from behind. Sri Lanka, Pen, Ghana, the worst performing currency. And the other Ghana, the young currency, no, and perform. Now other nations, the Antoines are. Niamo refume when say Ghana for young refia this hour. Niama Ghana call how no yen nemu in 2022. Eya mamu bonnet. Busa bebreba mo boya. Na mo nim se ochena beba. Because Eurobond nkwa moje bosia to the tune of 11.03 billion. As against President Kufuor, odi 750 million pe. John Mills, John Mahama, One sika wuje about 3 billion. Monkwa enyam fia wocho. From 2018 ekopem 2021 11.03 billion. Then na mo de ye mo je saske ni nyina na mo di say no COVID ba Ghana no ya sanso nya ho sika edi echi bai over $6 billion. Then ya de ye mo cheche ma mo ho se na mo nya toffee na mo cheche no bronya de ma mo fra ofie to the extent say election 2020 mo wie no mo share Bank of Ghana amani print illegal currency me what
illegal currency
I'll use illegal but the currency to bank illegally, sorry, what print illegally.
Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
Bank of Ghana.
Against the law of Ghana. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm not talking about. What print cannot illegally.
What print cannot namne kwanso.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's illegal currency. Or print cannot illegally because
illegal tender.
Oh yeah.
When you fast so print cannot.
A bank share Bank of Ghana.
Then a bank or share
Bank. Bank share Bank of Ghana and they say 2022 a memu boninti. Ye debosia ye did say na ye ntime amfanye bibinti.
Okay.
International rating agencies no blacklisted Ghana.
Okay.
Economy running into junk status. Enti ye kwa bosia ba wo man bio.
Okay.
Enti e ma ban wo so sabrim na ku fa do aban. Kwa obefa so anu so bitman yaskan say as say wo Bank of Ghana. No print scam won. Ghana sikasem home run it say. So we print sika.
Okay.
Ama banga. As I say, and just say ebro 5% of what previous revenue.
Okay.
Okay? 5%. Say be this year, you got 10,000. That's the next year. President Bank of OSP, President Bank of Ghana, and man is sika fan support now.
Okay.
And you can say printing. It doesn't mean having local printing. No, scout by system. That's the term they use. And just say, hey, ebro 5% of sika you been this year. Hey, sika na go beti me print ya ma na na gufa do aban in 2022. Edikan na just say ebro $10 billion Ghana cedis. We're printing over 40 billion Ghana cedis
in 2022.
Yes,
during COVID era.
I am telling you.
Okay.
2022 na COVID Ghana ejina. Ni ejina na ne pempen so pa Ghana so na way. Enti eno na ma Bank of Ghana eko kabu obo kaburubro.
Okay.
Over 70 billion Ghana cedis. And this is a young demonstration. Akwan o fa so no won an fa nko so say ebro sa threshold no kra na e say ko parliament na parliament ma akwan anza won an ko. Enti Ghana memu Ghana bre Ghana economy na e collapse no ne ko fire by kese ejina bosia bo bebre ba am ko jama mfanya because akwesi Obeka say finance minister Ofori-Atta ete o committee di.
Okay.
Say won ko hwe kwan Ghana cedi no e fa so follow e depreciate. So Obeka.
Yeah.
40-man committee. Time ben or this committee no buy.
Okay, Fatchem.
That was in 2019.
Okay, Fatchem na men share response via Bank of Ghana by on 26 July 2022. Also, Bank of Ghana's response to allegations by minority ranking member of Finance Committee in Parliament on printing of money to support the budget. Bank of Ghana's attention has been drawn to an interview granted by the minority ranking member on the Finance Committee in Parliament, Honorable Kasia Force, alleging that Bank of Ghana has printed an amount of 22.04 billion Ghana cedis to finance government budget without parliamentary approval. His reaction was in response to the 2022 mid-year fiscal policy review, which was presented to Parliament by the Minister of Finance on Monday, July 25, 2022. In Appendix 2A of the mid-year fiscal budget review document, under financing, out of the total finance of 28.12 billion Ghana cedis, an amount of 22.04 billion Ghana cedis was captured under BOG. This is the amount being referred to by the ranking member as Bank of Ghana's printing of currency to support the budget. Bank of Ghana deems it necessary to provide clarity on the issue and to set the record straight. The amount of 22.04 billion Ghana cedis represent net claims on government and not new currency printed to support the government's budget. The net claims of 22.04 billion Ghana cedis has the following four components. One, Government of Ghana stock and bonds sold by commercial banks to Bank of Ghana under repurchase agreement, by which banks
routinely manage their liquidity positions. IMF SDR allocation disbursed to government through Bank of Ghana. 3. Drawdown of government-owned deposit held with Bank of Ghana. 4. Negative balance on government account with Bank of Ghana at a print-in time and self-liquidated as new government deposit are credited to the account.
Yeah, Karen.
Eti Bank of Ghana.
Then asem now can ten. E go you then so.
Eti Bank of Ghana say
I answer question there. I question patch and I don't think say you now we no say mischievously but wait me here. But the point is
it's an official release.
Bank of Ghana declared a loss of 70 billion plus. Are you not aware of that?
But Bank of Ghana that time.
What shall I say? What shall I say? At the Sabante by. It could do baby no. They were fell flat. And yeah, then we declare loss.
More than what it
okay. What caused that loss? But I say, it took them over 12 years to recover.
Most Reverend John Bonaventure Kofi, he said last year, we organized environmental prayer walk. Say, yes, you are saying. Sisi ni eba ya daroma. Ye nyina ni besi eba walk ni bi na ye nyina ebo mpa ye sre nyame. Etwe wo. Member
of the NEC National Communications. As a member of the NPP National Communications Team. Last week, it's a different ethnic group and so Eddie Elkomo. Pakwa baby, Eddie Kakachum say, if fear the beer, say near bedroom, say, ye triansa Eddie Fre Casahudro, Ekabumko, would do a war of my emu. Some Mrani Medi Elkomo, no munchene, Ekuno, Eddie Boabua. One kasa wo ho eti enano na otwetwe mu se de konkoma fo e bae e mo ba kire konkomba no ankasa kra eye hwamu asem ne ye kan efrihefa e na abesinfa no munkabom ko de no mo yede abo wonwan mu a e wo ahanom ene ye kasei ye kwa santemem eti mi wo the project coordinator Edema Asante Professionals Club eye ora osebonsu. I said that's pro sebonsu de chiemu pa. Operi osebonsu. Ewo fidwem. Yon se bedi nkomo ni ahwe asanteman so ade. Akra. Eja. Akwaba.
Ya miya.
Yes we dey. Yaba mi ankasa nso mediem.
Pepepe o dey mu pa.
Ne de medem mi ankasa mediem sei. We dey medem. Na Dr. Kwesi Ajba. Mr. Kwesi Ajba na ankasa bunsu ha dey. Eti boko dey.
Ya minya boko.
Yere ya mi ase. Asante Professional Club.
Sir.
Eye ko be ya.
So de medase menua de di kan ma yenche abusuafo nyina Asante man mamponfo ena afenso yetiefo mo hwe free bia nkran ya bochenya ya mo bia ache. Okasa Asante Professionals Club a eni se eye asantefo akrachefo okay ana omwaka ho abom na se de osi hunu no se de asantefo ana se enipa bia mokopi bia natural selection na ankasa mo ankasa mbeka mo ho abom enti we de nkabo mu we ni ye professionals eye mo amosua de okay na omo ye adwuma ye nim se professional works okay ana makom ho abom na emane nyowa HSM sede embona broni mae no na ye de ye becheche yekura ye de nimdifo ena cheche kru okay enti professionals no betuma boa ma enoma bebre akoso ya santima mu ni ya santisemu enti na yakan ho abom no
enti ye ka the professionals na specific ebi ye de
yes enti professionals no doso. And specifically, no, your accountants womb.
Accountants.
And you call CEO for accountancy. Or my association, CEO no down on your friend. I said, my member. Into where I know say, yeah, cocoa balance. Levels. And yes, or you're penny phone, but who say, you're dumb one. Okay, so
within that,
yes, no, professionals, accountants.
And yes, sir, obey manager.
No.
But you fall within
yes, professional network. And your doctors, baby.
Doctors, okay.
Baby lawyers nso bebre se me mete me so me lawyer enti omo dɔɔso
na nsantwerɛfoɔ so yɛ professor
bebre nsantwerɛfoɔ na yɛni afia pokua kwa no ka ho no akɔtra enti nsantwerɛfoɔ nyina so yɛ professionals a omo yɛ jo motum pepepe yes to omo dɔɔso ankasa
nti obi yɛ with me identify Ashanti professionals no with me join nipa no eba yɛhwɛ ne background no dey na dey check you sampa me o ka kire se wo yɛ ambassador yes obi yɛ journalist here say na me tie no obi ka me hia se representative bibia no nsem yɛ journalist because Badwam TV so but enyi obi other so obi o a pharmacist obi dey me certify sampa o yɛ pharmacist na obi join ko no
good on say those can say akami kobu baby nkrofo be say kramo boni ame hu kramo papa enti dey say obi we wo asantini a we asantini
sure
enti the basic principle guiding principle say nka obi a we asantini bi a we professional bia no automatically no we a member you qualify to be a member but then say the okura koto asase a boni be expect say obey due diligence na say mra expect say obey due diligence no sa pepe net yes you wo bibi free atuni din DDT
okay
and you come po DDT it's a DDT near due diligence test and sign up by a member of APC into ba due diligence ni mu no e san se na ye ade esi eni so na pese ye ni nti na pese hu se ampo no bedu bebi be kese a yentimi control ye ho no yen start with ade emu odu na se nipa no mo start na meku sure se obi a obam bia no
o level
no dan chen kra no a ye hu se o nipa o ye professional o ya santini nyenye so obi kuntuna se be hye ba bi abese no ma enti obi ti se nka wo sei enne me so ya na ma recommend o se o me pese ma me nua be member of Ashanti Professionals Club enti ye friend me be your sponsor ma ba enti say me vouch for you say ampa minimum say o fi mampon ana me so ya adwuma na che na odi no huni pepepe enti ba na do to probation for 3 months until after 3 months na fe na dey see hu bia dey ye hu your professionals o mu ni o mu huni na me kan cho bi mpo say ye law school kra kire wo say onu obi client delay with honesty and dignity but obanyu lawyer bia o no about time kra oni so aha no mfa ho kra so wanka nti sa no ma we nyina pese edimu na yebu ye ho nti ye sa no ma nyansa na waba ba ye member ana age limit ka ho
it age need about
oh kan you kwere na akese odi be 30 na abranti bimbo dia be ho no na oba bi no ya abranti pa enti ye ti so ba 25
okay
aha obeye CEO for the friend go board aha so atam no wo mu no ya abranti akosi ewu no ya abranti pa enti ono ne ma history am ne ma ono enti ono ma ye age ne be
25 from 30 to 25
enti 25 okay enti they say limit near 25
enti 70 was I will say ye Asantini.
We are Asantini.
Also, age near 25 years and above. Also, you'll be a weird Juma.
We are Juma. We are professional.
Now, worry.
Encaho. And they will warriors of the Encaho. And I can't to Subium. We are Santini, no, on say a war, Uma, me or ya Santini. Okay. And your papa, ya Santini. Okay. And you will be an mamma and papa in I Santa for. But I had no a new home. And you can't say, mamma and papa in I Santa for, and son, what my baby. Okay. Papa, ya Santini. Na se o ma me kura efi ba bia otimi ye bi
okay
ana o ma me so eye Asantini na papa nya Asantini a otimi be member amane
okay do hia so be ye full fledged Asante
no
ansana so nti we nyina ye kan nyina ne purpose pa na say Asante professional
your purpose in fact my men kan no kweba constancho otumfo a na no say o say to the second Otumfo say to the second na wo ni swadi hu a opese odi na ohia so odi Asante professionals eye intimity hey ibit maka say yae no mabi ana say yakan ho abom but ye nuru baabia ye nuru no ma otumfo epese ye no kra entinka mo yakan ho abom no ye wo objectives your friend strategic objectives na me boss baba ko ye kwan ye be fa so a ye bo otumfo amana preserve your culture no legacy a yehunu na no a manfo ntimi nyina and mo nya asantefo kra do musi body no eno na ma asante professional nka ye ho so what peja say na yenso ya dia kopim ba bi kra empem ana afi so efa eye nimdie ne school ko ne ye friend education no eno so ehia say yesu be because say yanko school a yentimi and promote culture no say yanko school a yentimi nkotreten ba bi nya adwuma te say ye wo asantefo makopie wo America mo ye nwanwade abrante bi a TikTok ni hu no okoprempe college wo say we billionaire we doctor we asantini edi pa ne bebre ene jeje wote Supreme Court ono so ye asantini Mario Bonum sa akode ene abayo bi obo anyumu akopem America wakotena America we asantini enti ye do mo ko school no ye promote education no both even say AI technological education our traditional education nyina no and afen so ye de asante for de nka edwadie ni entrepreneurship de ye wo na ye de aso enti eno so ye promote pa say kwan be so na be fa so abobo ye ho ene ye ho nti uba ye kudu a eye obi wo ha wo ye business obi kwa no oto dan no oba the way si bua ma no
okay so or ye bibi attach the professional
yes
so ebi a wo ye lawyer
yes
but who other private business
very good
osa errand
in fact I encourage other people say we are lawyer venture other things in fact
metimi afre number B metimi a join
yes we metimi afre numbers and to say your numbers are my member one number we to say executive numbers no the 0205090 130
sabo number
0205090
okay
and other numbers are actually no remember na dia to ga we abet me afra
yeah sebos that's
yes yes
man very good morning confirm adjua mother who Kumasi Adom and ama Benis also Kumasi da sa do so mo nyina mo je bre na mo hwe 2 pm ho message ba fa che me me hu ne ntem why fa che me be dey akwasinsia cause na hwe Adom TV next week yeah the other ethnic group edebeba yakra